Alright, welcome back to Anime Savants, everyone. This week, I am ChuChu.
Damn.
Again.
Damn. This week, I am loud as bitch ass.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, you know, we're gonna get
we'll get there.
to all of it. And we didn't get any responses for questions of the week for this past stuff, so now we're just gonna dump them and harass y'all with them again, and then somebody's gonna answer, and then we'll have it for next week. So,
sure.
I want to talk about the thing that I hated the most first.
Let's do
Isekai cheat skill was an absolute fucking travesty. I have never regretted investing my time. Actually, you know what?
I have in other things, but yeah.
Yes. I've regretted investing my time in other things, but this one, I don't know what happened, but they lost the sauce in the last
real quick
3 episodes. Quick. Like it was just the episode 12 was so okay. Maybe it was me, and I was like, wait, am I watching this like on a bad website or something? Like, did they change the footage? The scene where they were in the field.
And that shit was ass.
Oh my god, it was so bad. It was so bad, James. So if you haven't seen it, it was literally a scene of them. They were like in the field gathering stuff because they had just joined the Adventurers Guild or whatever. Everything before that was stupid. It was just the encounter.
It's not worth talking
the brother, about. It was just so stupid. And then there was literally, I feel like it was like 3 to 4 minutes of them just showing grass.
Yeah.
And
it's towards the end of it. Yeah, it fucking sucked.
They were showing grass nonstop. They were talking. Sound effects were missing for specific things.
Bro,
the carriage.
There are so many problems to talk about. Like, you could tell that they totally ran out of money. Like the first 5 minutes of the episode, like they just ran out of money. Like, because if you go into it and you look at like the last 10 minutes, there are so many times where they'll go still shot, they'll just move the camera, and then they'll do another render.
He was just staring. He was just staring.
Just like, look, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Aside profile. I'm like,
yeah, like maybe you get like one little lip flap. And yeah, that shit was ass, bro.
It was so bad.
And they were missing shots. There were shots where I was like, why would you cut it like this? Where the rabbit kicked the thing, and there's there's literally like a black screen.
Okay, so wait. I thought that was my internet.
No.
I thought my internet went down. Oh my god.
Ass. It was ass.
I literally thought my internet had like an interruption, and it just like, it went out and it came back immediately, and I was like, okay, whatever. That black screen was part of it?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the journey doesn't matter because the ending was so horrific. Yep. The thing with the brother, I don't care. The vile girl,
I don't care.
The bunny rabbit showing up and saving him and then going away.
I don't care.
I just have to say the hopes were mediocre, but they managed to disappoint in the end. Like, holy 100%, shit.
100%.
Holy shit.
Normally, when you would get to a point like this with a show, you would go back and say something like, oh, okay, here are all the sort of directorial or writing mistakes that got us to like this place. And you would track it back over the course of the season. But the last episode was like nothing to do with nothing. It was just it was like we transported to a different show. It was a different show.
They speed ran the epilogue with no explanation.
And then nothing. What was the point?
When Homegirl showed up in the classroom, I was like, this is what I thought this show was going to be.
Correct, yeah.
I thought people from both sides were going to be flip-flopping and gaining powers and stuff alongside him and experiencing things similarly. That's what I thought the show was going to be. This whole thing of, I'm a model, I got a harem that I don't believe in, or that I don't trust their enemy. All that shit, they could have kept that. They could have kept that because I wanted this, and there was just no explanation for anything. Not that I needed it. And then they did the exact thing that I said they were going to do. That bitch went into his fucking house and went through that damn portal without his permission. And I was like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Of course she did that. Why wouldn't she do that? because she literally is in her head.
Yeah, yeah.
But no. Okay,
This
literally told you
all
you're
goes
gonna
back to
die.
my problems with episode 11, because episode 11 was where it was just like,
Yes.
what are we doing? What is the point of
Yeah.
this?
The show was literally just like, just like,
Yeah, right.
and then
So
it
it was like a
just
7.5 area. You can get some
seven
beautiful
point.
girls,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and then some dumb shit. And you're like, okay, that's cute. But then 11, they were like, okay, we're gonna commit to the isekai part, but we don't know what we're doing, and it just fell apart.
So bad, so bad. I can't say it's the worst show of the season, but it's the worst show of the season that I've watched.
No, I feel you. I'm there. I'm actually regretting that I didn't stick to my guns and just like
Give it up.
give it up for Kamikatsu. Because around episode 6 of Kamikatsu, I was like, I actually unironically love the show, but I don't have time every week to watch.
I've heard so many people love it. They love it.
Unironically love this show. What they were doing, it was like, this is fucking awesome. Because I have this rule. Unironically, it has nothing to do with anime. It goes back to like just watching TV. You know, you have like people say, "Oh, you should." There's something on Netflix. It's got 8 seasons. You can go binge it. And like comedies are hard to come by. So whenever someone says, "Oh, you should watch this comedy," I always have a rule. My rule is, if I can get one good laugh and at least 2 memorable chuckles out of an episode of a show, I am satisfied. I don't really care.
Okay.
Whatever else is going on, like it could be great, it could be not great, but if I get that much out of a per episode or on average, then at least I know it's something I could turn on. So like my poster child for this is Abbott Elementary, right? People were going on and on about it. I never watched it. I don't have any hate in my heart for anybody involved. In fact, I like all the people, but like I saw a treatment for it and I'm like, this is kind of dry and it's quirky. And then one day I just sat down, I think it was in the middle of season 2, and it was on Hulu. Just started watching. And like episode 1, Ava's character shows up, Quinta Brunson's doing her thing, everybody hates Chris Digga's there. And I got like a good laugh in like the first 5 minutes. And the rest of the episode I got two reasonable chuckles out of it. And I was like, you know what? It satisfied me. I'm happy. Kamikatsu has me gut laughing at least once an episode for different reasons. Not the same joke. Like run over and over to the ground, and then when it wants to like do something a little more serious, it's got the budget here and there to actually do some impressive stuff. It's just like maybe you get that once every 3 episodes. So like that's why I'm tuning in. I'm tuning in to like get my gut laugh of something so fucking stupid or so.
And then the occasional.
Yeah, then I'll be surprised. Like, oh wow, oh that's a good idea. Oh, they animated that pretty well. Oh, I'm actually invested in the bigger story, the mystery here. Like it progresses. It kind of has like a very clear trajectory. So if I stuck to my guns, I would have been like, maybe I'll talk about Kamikatsu every week. But I was like, no, I'm committed. I'm not hating what I'm seeing in Cheat Skill. You know, so I'm now in my bag about that. I gotta go finish that season. And Dead Mount Deathplay, where I stopped was in the same place. And I was also it's a little weirder and it's a little more it has things that are both positive and negative in common with Cheat Skill, but the difference is that it's one idea. It's not like 8 ideas crammed into one. It's just trying to tell one story. And there's actually like some pretty decent like action. I won't necessarily say it's like Sakuga or anything, but like I left off on an episode where there was like a pretty good confrontation, and I was like, oh, this is cool. These powers work together. There's rules. Kind of makes sense. And I heard good things about the end of that season as well. So 2 places where I didn't stick to my guns halfway through the season. Now I'm kind of annoyed. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm annoyed with Cheat Skill, but I'm not angry at it. I think I'm just annoyed.
Yeah. I just was really it turned from confusion to annoyance to anger and then just like fuck it. Like the time is gone. I might as well finish it. Like I might as well finish it. It is what it is. But yeah, worst plummet in a while. Like, wow, man. Like they didn't even really have to try that hard to finish it up, but wow, they dropped the fucking ball.
What is like the real takeaway for what failed here? It wasn't just that it was paced weirdly, and it wasn't just that the budget fell off in the last episode. I think that they never fully committed to the gimmick at the times when it would have mattered. Because as you point out, like your expectation, and you correct me if I'm wrong, was like there's going to be a lot of crossover between what's happening in these two worlds, such that somehow you're telling one story, right?
Yes.
Like, and it fits together. But like the first, like more than the first half,
it was like 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's like no, there's no connection, and they're trying to enforce that very rigorously. So I was like, I think I bought into that idea around episode 6 or 7. I'm like, okay, we're not
mixed matching.
The only purpose for the human world stuff is to put over the main character as being the perfect guy who's oblivious, and the less of that there is, the better. You know, because you could do the isekai stuff is like more interesting. There's more intrigue there. There's an actual story. But what I didn't realize was that because they never committed, everything stayed flimsy. Like the reasons for why characters did stuff, or like the sudden personality change, well, they weren't sudden, but the personality reveals were not like endearing, because not enough had actually happened on the isekai side to like make me give a real shit about anyone, you know? If he had disappeared, like I could see another story, and I'm not rewriting it, but like just same story beats, but he just disappeared for a while on the isekai side, so everyone thought he was dead or like whatever. And in that meantime, they just did everything that they did from like episode 4 all the way to episode 13. On the don't go back. He's just there. He's got his like harem of hot girls, and then he comes back, and now you could do the crossover where like he's done for a while in the isekai world. He's hot, he's strong, he knows all this magic, and then you can start to cross him over. Like maybe it's the other way. The isekai ladies sneak into the real world, or some reason to take them.
Yeah.
And then you cross the streams and do all the other shit, and it's like, okay, now we're just in the fun rom-com harem shit with beautiful people. But they didn't do.
The beautiful people stayed beautiful the entire time. The prince was hot. The prince was hot. Like I would give it to them. The prince was hot. But you're dead on. I expected, like, you know, people from the isekai world coming into the real world causing problems, and then heroines and stuff. Or the harem girls chasing them into his world and having to be undercover at school.
Right. Then you get the hijinks, you get like the usual shit. Yeah.
And then people from the school figuring that shit out and going to that world and discovering their latent powers.
Right.
And,
or getting into trouble. Because then that's a very good setup for like rom-com stuff with the occasional
and cool shit.
Yes. And I think you brought up 2 or 3 weeks ago where they brought the rabbit, and it was like, this should have been in the beginning of the story.
The mentor.
I wouldn't change like basically anything. I would just reorder where these themes are going, you know, or where the story beat actually happens.
He was like 5 episodes too late. It was like so late in the game.
Weirdly 5 episodes late. Like it's almost like the author. I believe this was a light novel.
It is a light novel, but people in the comments were telling me that like they were like rearranging shit.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Because I was about to say, either it felt like they had rearranged shit, or that the author was like adding things as it came to mind.
Around like episode 3 or 4, someone commented on one of my videos, and they were like, "Nah, the rabbit was supposed to be here already. Like, what the fuck are they doing?"
Okay.
So that's why I was like, "Well, where the fuck is the rabbit?" Because like this is like, you know, the first arc or whatever is kind of finished. So we should be getting the mentor rat, because the rabbit was clearly important based off of the intro song,
and then all the story
ending.
They tried to tell at the end about being like a sacred beast, and they're being hunted for this, and like that could all the pieces all made sense, right? His missing
the vial infiltrating the human world.
Yeah, right. All of that stuff. It basically, now I'm actually less annoyed and more fascinated by
how much they dropped the ball.
Why did this happen? Like we started out complaining about how like they ran out of money in episode 13. That's a normal thing that I totally understand. Like one of my favorite shows of all time, Evangelion. If you ever watch, like I think it was like famously is an episode 22 or 23. There's an episode where them motherfuckers actually ran out of money, and so they just had to put fucking sketches on white fucking contact.
Yeah,
because they just had no money.
It was confusing as fuck.
Yeah, everybody who was watching it like, hey, yo, what the fuck is going on here? But like, it looked artistic, and everyone trying to figure it out. They're like, I guess, you know, Ano is just like,
nigga, we broke.
And it's like, no, bro, they actually ran out of money. The budget got fucked up. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, I get it. I totally understand. Sometimes that's just how it be. But the fact that not only did they have like major production problems, but that they fucked with the story in a way that actually made their show worse. Like,
yeah.
I want to know what was the intent. Tell somebody. Let's find an interview with the director. Or so I know we're never gonna get that. But like, please, if it's in a magazine,
the way that this show ended, they were like, "You will not see this ever."
Nah,
again.
bro, they were like, "Get this shit out of here. Get it out. Get it out."
It filled the time slot. It's done.
Said,
like nothing else.
We don't want to talk about this shit.
Yeah, just it's over. Yeah. It's over. But I had to get that out because it was gonna.
Jover. It's Jover.
It's Jover. Listen, you're Joe over. Get the fuck out of here and don't come back. Don't come back. Like, I don't want a remake. I don't want nothing. Like, the only way that I would even consider this is if it like became like Attack on Titan Demon Slayer levels popular for some reason.
SAO popularity.
Yeah. Then I'd be like, okay, y'all gotta go back because
you gotta fix it.
You gotta fix this shit because the original anime was trash. Like, oh my god.
Bro, why? Why?
Yeah. This is why I always say time is the most valuable thing we have on this planet, and when mine is wasted.
Facts.
Mine is wasted. I have things to say and I have feelings. So those are my feelings about this shit, man.
Big facts.
I can't even say it literally ruined the journey for me. Because I was saying, I'm enjoying the journey, blah, blah, blah. Nah, fuck y'all. That was boo-boo. And it happened.
It's Jover. Just get it out of here.
Fucking Jover. Okay. Okay. Where we going next?
Let's do Witch from Mercury since it's wrapped.
Okay.
Yeah. So, a lot of what we talked about earlier on, there was some hope that maybe they were going to stretch it out. This particular story, they're going to stretch it out to maybe another core or something else. Nope, we wrapped in.
It's over.
Yeah, episodes 11 and 12, which aired between the last time that we talked. So the season's over. We kind of did get a definitive ending for every storyline. I don't know where to start. I guess in episode 11 is the kind of most action-oriented episode because they, you get Lauda and Guel having their sort of duel, which it's what you expect at the end of a Gundam series, where like the actual duels themselves are not about the cool things happening. Like we got that with Shadiq and Guel,
but Schwarza was cool as fuck.
Oh yeah, that's gonna sell a lot of.
I'm getting that nigga. Oh Schwarza my god,
is ill.
That shit was cool.
Maybe wasted on that other.
Yes,
name, but it was a great design. I think that's actually generally true. I did not see one mechanical design here, with maybe the exception of what they were doing with those like harrows, like the gun mounted harrows. It's kind of awkward. Those are a little awkward, but other than that, I think all the mechanical design for this show has been very, very good.
Yes.
And something memorable. Like, I'll remember that this is a, G-Witch style design.
Yes.
Like, if they do other, like, Gunpla releases that are sort of, like, from the same universe but didn't actually show up on the show, I could visually identify, this is G-Witch. I know what this is.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. I think we didn't get as much hero suit action outside of the Schwarza and the Caliburn. Like new stuff for the kind of the ending, which I think is a little bit of a shame.
I was expecting a new version of Ariel somehow.
New Ariel, was it Farsis or
Pharax?
Pharax, right? Like something to go along, upgrades. Maybe like upgraded Lilith and Thorn, like things like that. There was no opportunity to really do it based on just where the story was at. So it is what it is. The only thing that kind of didn't really get resolved was like anything to do with the people on Earth, like that revolution. Like we got nothing there. There was
Homeboy broke that fucking USB drive and was like, "We're good."
Yeah, I was like,
"No, okay. You're not."
Yeah.
Where is our war? Where is our war?
So when I say we got a definitive ending, I just mean like they addressed every hanging thread, but it might get like one line.
We see Miorine doing her missionary work, but like,
oh god, like let's go to Africa and convert these savages.
Okay, girl, okay, we got that, but otherwise, it's kind of like I like the ending. I like the ending. It could have been done better, and there should have been more time, and I will stand behind that. I actually was surprised though how well they did the epilogue. They speed ran the epilogue with a vocal track over it.
But there was a lot there.
There was a lot there. Okay, so just getting into Lauda's.
Yeah.
First of all, he looked hot as fuck when he grew up. I was like, you're actually really attractive when you're not stressed as fuck. And I was like,
like a bitch.
Yeah. I was like, this is a missed opportunity, you guys, because that could have been somebody else that the people were thirsting after. The duel with he and Guel, I keep going back to this duel. The way that they set up he and Shadik's duel, it made it seem as though like these niggas were going to like hate each other. Like fight forever.
Forever. Like on site forever.
Immediately. And it just didn't matter. No. A lot of the things that were built up did not matter. And you said it during a previous episode. You said, depending on how this final episode goes, if they do this, and this is going to recontextualize everything that I thought they were doing and probably make it seem worse. Because it's going to make it seem like, oh, you didn't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
You didn't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
Which is sad because getting up to this moment, it was really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good ending. I enjoyed the series overall, but I feel like they kind of bitched out on the darkness. The tone that was set in episode 12 did not really carry through to the second half. At all. And if it did carry through, it was just mechas blowing up. Like, we weren't seeing niggas getting eviscerated and shit. Outside of Guel's episode. Like, that was the last episode where I truly thought, like, oh, these niggas are leaning into this shit. Like, it's gonna get real crazy by the end. Like, real crazy. No, they kind of, like, took their foot off the pedal and was just like, it's gonna work out for everybody. And the thing, I was like, they were setting Shadik up so well. I was like, he's gonna get out of this, and he's gonna be a menace, and I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
And then he just took the blame. He not only took the blame for his shit, he took Prosperous shit too. And it was just so
for what?
Just
this doesn't make so. There's a trope. It has different names. I always remember it as it's the end and everybody gets stupid. You know, because a lot of times in books and movies and TV shows, you have even great writers have this problem where they have a vision for like where they kind of want to go, right? It's in your head, like, I want to tell this story. I want these characters to have these moments, and here's where I want it to end up. But there's like right around where you're at the going from like the hero's sort of lowest point to the climax and the finish.
Yeah.
There's that the sort of rising action part is so hard to get right because you have to kind of contort characters into doing things that are convenient for the plot, but ultimately don't make much sense for what you've been building them up to be. It happens all the time. Like the villain, the villain has this like 10-point plan to take over the world. They are excellent at doing points 1 through 9. It puts the heroes in the worst spot. And then at 10, they're like, I'm going to tell you everything that I'm doing. And then I'm going to lock you in this basement instead of just shooting you in the fucking face. And also, I'm going to like leave room for you to come back and fuck all my shit up. Because actually, there's like one button that you've got to press. There's like one thing you got to blow up. There's like, or me. You just got to kill me. And it all ends. And then they get fucked. And it's like, wait, but I thought they were genius, smart.
Competent.
They did, like, what happened? Why you get dumb? What's going on? And then the only way to write your way out of that is either Deus Ex Machina, i.e. something happens. Anyone who is like me and was burned by Star Wars knows that line. There's a line from the latest Star Wars movie, the horrible one.
I still haven't seen it because you said no.
in the title crawl, the first sentence is somehow, comma, the Emperor has returned. And it's like, and somehow the Emperor has returned, period. And anybody who was just sitting in that theater was looking at that and like,
wait, did they go over that in the second one?
No.
Before that? I don't remember the Emperor returning.
Fuck no. It was just like right there. It was like, somehow, comma, the Emperor has returned. And everybody in the theater is like, wait, what? What the fuck? What do you mean? What? because you know, again, writing no ideas. So you just gotta say, fuck it, we're just doing this shit. So how does that relate to these last few episodes?
I distinctly remember watching that second movie, and that did not happen.
It doesn't come up at all.
Okay, all right.
Not at all.
Another reason why I need to leave it alone.
You just find out the Emperor's a clone, and like he knew it all along, and it was always going to happen, but nobody talked about it.
Oh my god!
Blah 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 blah. We don't need to get into that. But like with respect to G-Witch, they were setting up all of these ideological clashes that were unresolvable. It wasn't like Power of Friendship was just gonna like get Shadiq over the fact that like the Earth was in this absolutely powerless position, and his belief was that bringing military parity, no matter what the cost in human lives, was worth rebalancing those scales. Mm-hmm. That's his idea. That's just what he believes. That's it.
And
so
he
put him up
10 toes down. Went for it.
Yeah, Guel's is like, again, we talked about this before. What was his change of character? Was going to Earth, realizing shit is fucked, realizing that he was childish about his entire like view of the way the world worked, about hierarchies, about his responsibilities, and made a similar assessment, like, I want to make things better. But his approach was, no, we're gonna do this the right way, the upstanding way, you know, we're gonna fix this. Kind of like the sort of workman approach of like ground up.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily humanitarian, just like, I gotta grow up and be someone who can shoulder the responsibility of like addressing problems. That's why when he was on Earth, he went with Miorine and then was willing to go out into the crowd and like be around like people that he knew, even though it was a shady connection and it could get him in trouble. So ideologically, they clash with each other. And then you've got the flashpoint of the girl, right? The girl they both are into. Boom. Easy. Like, set up for infinite conflict because neither one of them is going to just change their mind. Well, wait, I thought that. That's what I thought. in like episode 9, I was like, all right, okay, fine. Same way, like Miorine seemed like up until episode 10 that she had like come around to, I will become the sort of, I will take control of the evil system and then try to bend that system to do right, but yeah. I'll still try to do good. And then the fact that she got like mind fucked and used, even when she thought that she was all grown up and was like taking charge, would be a perfect catalyst for some kind of character growth that would put her at odds with a Suletta, or put her at odds with Prospera, or put her at odds with somebody.
My thing with Miorine that I'm so disappointed in is that the solution that Grassley gave her was still the solution that she used. She just used it 2 episodes
on a different
later.
Guy.
On a different guy.
Used it for Shadiq and not his dad, who had fucking volunteered, which makes absolutely no sense. Why?
That's why, like, when it all happened, I was like, "You're kidding me! This is stupid. This is stupid.
Yes.
This is dumb." And this is stupid.
Yeah,
because like, you literally didn't. It would be one thing if she came up with this plan, or like her mom was in the fucking thing and like, you literally did the thing that the nigga told you to do, but you were too hard-headed to do it in the beginning. So now you have brought homeboy into this when he possibly could have gotten off.
Yes, he could have put it all on the dad, and then you could have released him out to do whatever. Maybe he could have been part of the plan. Like, okay, now I'm in my bag. So
you about to rewrite it?
Yeah. So let's go to the actual what actually happened. So we're episode 11. The Guel and Lauda had their thing. Was it Freya or whatever that girl's name is? Shows up and shoots like paint glue at them and tells them to stop fighting.
My God. Okay.
So it's like, okay, whatever.
Stupid. Just stupid shit. Because there was literally... okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happened. I'm talking about what actually happened.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, brothers shouldn't fight. And then Lauda has this, or maybe he already had the flashback right before, where he's like, he's always just wanted to look after me. He really does.
He hugged me.
Okay, all right, fine. And then they literally disappear from the story, and you don't hear from them again.
You know when that would have been great if y'all had done that earlier, and then he was just like, I don't give a fuck about this. I still hate you.
Right. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I don't want to rewrite.
Yeah,
we're just gonna go through what happened.
Okay.
So, turns out that the bad guys have a super laser, very Gundam, to have like a solar
on brand.
Yep. So we have all the trappings. The kids infiltrate the Quiet Zero. They have like an extended scene of like hacking a computer, which I was gonna tell you right now. I get what they wanted in that. This was the This is the Superman, Batman, Martha. Like, what did you say her name was? Like the stupid shit where it's like the real password was the message in the DNA, and it's like, all right, I guess that was Chekhov's gun.
Saw that coming.
Right, we had to use it for something. So she rewrites the fucking admin password because Prospero is suddenly very stupid. Like, just dumb, leaves a bridge, leaves her control. She could throw all that shit.
Comes with the machines, not actual people. Comes with
a bunch of robots for no good reason. If she wanted to kill all of them, she should just put them all on, hunter-seeker mode and just went beeline directly for Mirina and shoot her in the face. Because again, what does she care about these other people? She's only about her kids. Right. It's only about her kids. She wouldn't be trying to keep them alive. Like, she tried to kill them on multiple occasions. So, what? But okay, the BC squad shuts down Quiet Zero. We have a moment where like Prospero gets shot in the face, but doesn't die, and has like a come to Jesus moment. And Aerie is like kind of fending off
the super laser.
Then the super laser fires, and then she blocks it, and it's like, all right. So that's episode 11, where all of the people who should be in a fight to the death are now actually on the same side because of emotions. All right. I'll let it slide. That's where we're going. It was at that moment I realized we were not getting another core. Because I was like, all right, that shit's done. And then episode 12, where they jammed like a whole bunch of shit. Like a lot of politics that is just not really explained. They
made a villain out of one of the head honchos at the Space Assembly League
that we never met before.
Don't
know anything about.
The kind of villain that I would have loved to have seen get his shit rocked.
Right.
And it was just, why is he here now?
I don't fucking know.
Why was he there? What was the meaning of Homegirl in the ship, like doing like the light signals?
Where she was like, I guess it's supposed to be like, okay, so if I'm piecing this together, the Space Assembly League's big plan, aside from throwing away half of their fleet
for to get rid of Bennett Group,
was to get rid of the Bennett Group. And they were going to do that by waiting until something happened with
They wanted to blame Quiet Zero on the Bennett Group and then wipe it out. Like two birds, one stone, I'm guessing.
Right, but we already established that they couldn't destroy Quiet Zero. They couldn't do it. And it wasn't like necessarily like this plan with Caliburn was all they're doing either. In fact, if you really think about it objectively, it's the dumbest actual plan. To take a child who they don't know anything about is actually the daughter of the person who they're trying to murder and is trying to murder everybody else. Mm-hmm. Stick her in an untested suit, fly her directly at the ship, and then trust a bunch of children to hack the mainframe, and then maybe convince the deranged permit ghost to not fire the weapon and kill everybody. So that was their plan. Adults. This is the adult plan. I'm okay with it being Miorine's plan. I'm okay with it being Suletta's plan, all the kids' plan.
So that makes it even more so confusing about Olcott, because I mean, Quiet Zero would have been destroyed if it weren't for Eddie blocking that shit and the subsequent things. But the Space Assembly League, looking back at things, it was just added too late.
Yep.
It was added too late, and thus I think it was also rushed.
Yep.
I do have a lot of good things to say too, but go ahead and finish.
Yeah,
and then
so
I'll say something.
Yeah, Suletta
nice.
tries to, as you say, there's got the space laser. Suletta tries to like take control. She can't do it because like turns out she's just a normie after all. Which I have my other big complaints about this series, which is
no, but they did do something that you wanted. They did do it.
Yeah, they did.
They did it. They did it. She is a good pilot without her.
Yes.
She is.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
The only problem I have is that technically, despite the fact she had a piloting moment, she has 0 aerial victories that are just hers over another pilot.
Okay.
Like, that, to me, and I know it's a pedantic, like, fucking mecha nerd complaint, but, like, you have to make your main character more than just a cipher for emotions in a series where she is gonna get compared fairly or unfairly to every other Gundam protagonist that there's ever been.
True.
It's not right. I think that it's reductive and stupid. I think Suletta's character stands on its own as a fantastic anime character. Period. I think she's great because there's not very many characters like her.
Yeah.
Big old dumb lesbian Tanuki. Like, good. Amazing.
Okay. You're not wrong.
But if I put her up against like any After Colony, Universal Century, Extended Universe, I could go anywhere. She has like almost no solo piloting accomplishments.
Yeah.
She has almost none. There are people in this series without Gundams who have a better piloting record than her and were put over in the show as being badasses, man. Olcott on his own.
Yeah.
Who was only in 3 episodes. Come on!
Yeah.
Iron-Blooded Orphans, bro. Mikazuki, what did they do with that series? That show wasn't even about him.
It was
not about him. He's an autist. He barely speaks. This motherfucker was running through everybody. No lube.
You're not wrong. I thought we were going that way after the midway point, and we did it. We did it. We could have gotten it if we had gotten an actual fucking war. With actual sides, things of that nature, but we did it.
Sure. So, Miorine pops up and is like, my big plan is to dissolve the Bennett group, but actually, we're going to merge it with a bunch of Earth corporations. Somehow that solves something.
It doesn't solve anything.
Because it doesn't solve anything. She throws Shadiq under the bus for no goddamn reason. Apparently, this makes the women in Pale upset because, they lost, I guess. And then,
because they wanted Bennett group. Like, as it was in that moment or something.
Which again, this is another point of irritation. If the plan in the story was just to make them the evil witches, for in your allegory,
doing it
they should have been doing it from the beginning. I mean, like, you could argue that they were in a lot of scenes, but let's keep it a buck. What the fuck did they do? Did they do? They made some weird fucking flesh clones to go like fuck around with. And all they did was
tell other people what to do. They weren't like actual threats themselves, nor were they really menacing.
No, and I don't even know what all their plan was. It was just to make some money and be like at the top of the group. Like, that's it. That's all it really amounted to. That's it. That is it. The only other group that actually made Gundams that were like, interesting designs. By the way, they weren't connected to the terrorists. They were their own thing. Pale was its own thing.
You know what? Speaking of other group that make Gundams, where the fuck did the Schwarza come from? With like Guel's company, did the dad make that with Prospera?
They had one line, I think, in like episode 9, where it's like Lauda is like looking at a machine. He's like, "Why do we have this?" And it was like, we were doing something with a prototype Gundam." It's like, I mean,
okay. But
it was literally like a throwaway line. You had never seen this unit before, and it was just so that after the attack on the school, Lauda could come back and look at it and be like, all right, it's foreshadowing. I'm gonna do something. It's like, bitch, when you just sit your ass down. That's why I said I was his bitch ass this week, because I got words for that motherfucker. Oh. What the fuck were you doing in this whole series? What were you doing? Literally, he cried and complained for the first core. That's all you ever saw.
That's all he
did. Just cry and fucking complain.
Oh, Nissan.
Oh, right. Then he thinks his brother is dead, but they don't even bother, like the writers don't even bother giving him anything to do in the second core.
He was just the leader of the house.
Yeah, you get 2 scenes, both of which is just him looking confused and frazzled, not knowing what's going on. Guel comes back and it's like, okay, I'm in charge now. And then Lana literally disappears again for like 2 whole episodes. Then a girl dies, or not dies, gets injured. We thought she died. I was praying that she was dead. Like, with all my heart, I was like, please, you smashed a nigga at the end of the last season. Kill this bitch. Do it. Give somebody some reason to do something. But nope, she's in the hospital. And at that point, Lana's like, well, now I gotta go fight my brother because he's infatuated with a girl. It's like, well, what? Your motivation is like 2% of what Shadiq's was. You have no ideology at all. It's not even clear you disagree with your brother. And then you're gonna go have a death battle in the middle of like what may actually be. The death battle
did not matter at all. It didn't matter at all. And I honestly thought it was so stupid if they had actually killed Guel there.
Yeah,
I would have stopped watching because I would have been like, this is stupid.
And
this
why right dumb. There? Like,
of all places.
For what everybody knows in the show up to that moment, they are facing literally a Holocaust. Like, that's what everyone knows. There is a thing out in space that has the ability to wipe out all life on Earth.
If it wants to. At any moment.
They just, like, you know, Prospera getting away with shit is interesting because she committed mass murder on that entire fleet because they didn't touch her.
Yes.
Right? Okay? He saw that shit. Everyone saw it. It wasn't a mystery. Like, and his idea is like, nah, bro, I'm going to go fight my brother in the middle of what is probably a possible genocidal war over feelings? I didn't really know what was he mad about?
Anger, jealousy, something.
But like something. We didn't see that. If we had seen in the first season, like instead of him just looking annoyed at Guel for like losing, if he had been presented as like this very pompous, backstabby kind of character who was just waiting to take his brother down and like, you know, maybe his plans failed at multiple times.
And he got tired of waiting and was like, I'm just going to do it myself.
He goes crazy. He steals the prototype. He's not ready to be a Gundam pilot, but he says, fuck this. At least then him going nuts, I'm like, fine, we'd do that. But his motivation was so fucking flimsy, and all it took was like a memory he could have had at any time to be like, oh yeah, right, my brother hugged me once. Oh, he did care.
And I just almost killed him.
Oh, it's a parallel to what happened to our dad, even though I didn't see it happen. I just heard someone offhandedly say he killed dad. Like, missing parts. Okay, fine, whatever. So we get through all that. Then they trigger the new type surge and just turn off the solar cannon, and you know everything is fine. All the
now, hey, everything looked great. It looked great.
Oh, it looked fucking fantastic.
Everything looked great. Right, I'll give it to them right there. That looked great. But yeah,
right then Prospera has like a new type ghost moment with her dead husband. And it's like, oh, it's all over. Even though literally it's not all over at all.
Prologue people.
Right, the professor shows up. All the people from
Alon 4 shows up.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that shit.
Oh my god!
What the fuck? And not only does he show up, he immediately betrays them. He was around for 10 minutes. He was like, I see the writing on the wall here. I'm out.
The fact that he shows up and it's just like my biometric data is in the data storm or some shit. And blah, 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 blah. I can help you.
I'm back, bitches.
Give me your hand. Touch my hand. We shall solve it. Okay. No, actually not okay.
Not okay. No.
There were no... Oh my god. What the fuck is data storm poisoning? And why the fuck did we just now hear about it in the final episode? I would really like to know why we just found out about data storm poisoning in the second half of the final episode. What the fuck were they doing? Like, I literally was so confused because I was like, this should have been introduced in
episode
prologue.
1.
In the prologue.
Episode 1.
This should have been introduced in the beginning because that explains beyond the bodily like stuff that goes on with them trying to like fuse with the machines. But also, there's the chance of data storm poisoning. So it's like, okay, so there are multiple factors. It's not just, the body can't take it. It's, your body might like not be able to take it, and then you could be sick forevermore because you got like you could not assimilate, but it's still part of you for some reason or whatever. That happened.
Yep. Then there's a very like absurd. It's just absurd. Eri shows up as a part of the ghosts, having their moment. Basically, doesn't say it, but then 2 minutes later, gets rid of all the permanent particles, all the Gundam shit, just with her brain, with her special brain, gets rid of all of it.
Okay, did they ever even say there was Gundanium or anything of that nature?
Yeah.
So then, okay.
She just theoretically, permit is mined somewhere.
Okay. But that's what they're mining on Mercury or something.
I think so.
Okay.
Know.
That makes
sense.
That
shit's sense. In the audiobook. It ain't in the show.
Okay.
So
all right.
Doesn't count.
Okay. They can have that one.
So Eri materializes in front of Prospero and kind of just says don't be a bad person anymore. Revenge isn't worth it. I'm gonna take away your big weapon because you're my mom. Then
I want to be with you and Suletta.
Then all the Gundams disappear because reasons. And I know I'm sounding super dismissive of all of this, but it's literally some new age bullshit that doesn't make any sense.
The Gundam should have never disappeared.
Right. Then Miorine comes and gets Suletta's body out of space. And it's like a callback to the first episode where it was Suletta who got Miorine, but there's no Gundam. So it's maybe we could do some lesbian shit later. And it's actually, it's going to be totally vanilla. So no. They cry. And then we basically get the wrap up to everybody's story, which makes... We already talked about that. Why did Shadiq confess to everything? It also doesn't even make any sense. Why is he confessing? He wasn't on the fucking thing. He was in jail. They knew he was in jail.
They knew he was in jail. They were just fine, we're done with it. It's whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense. Prospero was rolling around in a fucking wheelchair. I was this is actually just fucking stupid now. Why the fuck is she free at all? It just didn't make any sense to me. And I'm Miorine, you don't have any pull. You just dissolved the company. You just gave all the assets to Earth. I would say the only thing, I felt they dropped so many hints of things that could come because they were saying, that doesn't mean we're going to get anything. But the fact that they said, you can disseminate this shit to Earth companies all you want. Space is going to get it back one way or another. They're going to get it back one way or another. And then also the Shadiq harem working for Miorine now.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make... I saw that. No
sense
and I was
all.
The groundwork was not even foreshadowed for this. At all. And homegirl read Miorine to filth and was you need power and you don't have power. Shadiq has power. He's gonna do something. You just talking. It's... and at the end, in the moment, I really enjoyed it, but as I looked back on it, it was just
I think if I were to bundle up all of my other minor criticisms and just say it looked good, it sounded good, I'm happy with the mech designs. The thing that does truly stand out that I don't like is that the message at the end of the show was that the solution to all major problems is just getting a slightly better job. And I don't think that should be the takeaway after everything.
Was that what it was?
Because that's what happened. The wrap up for everybody. Everybody got a better job.
Everybody became an adult and started working.
Yes. Yeah. And what was the grievance of the Earth people? It's we solved that by giving them better companies on Earth with more money. It's No! That
what
wasn't
happened
the point.
to the other groups outside of the Binary group that were developing mobile suits? What were they talking? What was Guel? What were the Jaturk daddy? What was he talking about? Like the war front and shit like that. Like the space war front, to be specific, not the earthen one. There was something going on in space because each of the Binary groups, they were making mobile suits, but Binary group mobile suits weren't the only ones that existed. So there's that.
They were just the biggest one.
They were the biggest one. They weren't the only one. So it's just like,
what, you know what I wish?
They couldn't have done everything, but they could have at least gotten more time. Like,
they could have gotten more time, or the things that they just shouldn't have touched. We both made this point in the beginning, like season 1, which was, if the story is going to be about poverty and inequality and youth growing up into that reality, then you have to have a message to actually send about it, and you have to be very competent about the way you tell that story. And I was willing to go along with a lot of what was happening very early in the series because it was all necessary to establish some strong characters.
Which I thought they did.
Which they did. They absolutely
did.
I praised this series in the first core because they were patient. They were very, very patient about not rushing to like either ham-fisted sort of broad statements about life, which are, they're allegorical to real life.
Yeah.
They let their characters go out and be themselves and be in like, frankly, like wacky situations until it turned real serious at the end, right? Guel gets kidnapped, his dad dies, Suletta murders somebody, Miorine's having a mental crisis, like the school is falling apart, like da-da-da-da. That is happening. And I'm like, okay, great. We've got that. And we both also had the same observation. Is like, if you did all that setup in the first core, if you want to, now let's follow the theme of episode 12 of the last one and jump them ahead. Yep, jump them ahead. However much time you need to. Let them grow up. Let them become more like cynical and hardened to what each group or
catch
each individual's
us up on the time skip happenings as we go.
Yeah. Everyone has like solidified into some view of the world. They come out of some kind of a time skip. Does not need to be many years. I would have expected them to do that. Since, by the way, we did see aged up characters at the end of this. So there was a design for all these older versions of the same character, right? But give us some kind of a time gap. We got a week, right? Or a couple weeks. But I wanted more. And then let's meet all of our characters again. And we see how each of them have processed this sort of coming of age moment of extreme violence.
How they interact now.
Right. And also, like, remember that at the end of the first core, this idea of the war that's happening because of inequality on Earth coming to space and fucking everything up because they were all living oblivious to the consequences of what was really happening. It was perfect. It was like, great. Now we can get involved in that thing with some slightly more adult characters. We didn't get it. And the moment we didn't get that, I think that the show itself curled in on itself. Because it then became about, okay, let's do the school thing again. But we're off that. Everybody, all of our main characters except Suletta have gone through something that should separate them from campus. Guel was out of there. He said, fuck that shit. I'm done. Miorine was like turning into a puppet of like this much grander conspiracy. Got nothing to do with the school. Like the other kids on Earth House are getting fucking abused by other students. It's like turning into like a kind of like a racist atmosphere. They're dealing with some heavy fucking subjects, and it's like, no, we gotta spend 5 more fucking episodes doing like mini school thing with these like new girls who are actually the fucking terrorists. And it's like, or we could not do any of that and then have Suletta run into them organically, say on Earth or somewhere else, right? Like the chick is obsessed with Suletta, so like there was I was envisioning all this stuff that they were gonna get to do, and instead it was like, no, our main character is frozen in time, so we can't move the whole story forward. And then we get to the end where it's like, oh, there was no message about inequality. There was no message about like the complicated reality.
Earth was just a device. It really wasn't like anything more than that.
So I'm not here to like shill my own like politics, but if you're gonna go for like hyper capitalist dystopia as your background for your storytelling, kind of sucks that like the answer in the end that you rushed into episodes was kind of like, well, everybody could be friends and work at a job. It's like that's not a, no matter what you do with your characters, that's not satisfying.
And fundamentally, the world still won't change.
No, and that actually is like the worst message to have wasted my time on 24 episodes. You could have said that episode too. Okay, goodbye.
No matter what you guys are gonna do, nothing's gonna change. So get out there and fight.
Now I got a question. I have a question for you. Given that the way we ended was extra vanilla in every way possible, are you upset or pleased that they didn't do the cheap ass thing when their story fell apart and just have Miorine and Suletta kiss on camera or on screen? Because like
I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't do it because it would have been. Oh my god, that would have been such an ass pull. Because there has been well, you know what?
They did the scene with the hand, and when Suletta brought her out of the closet, right? They did it.
I was about to say, I was like, I didn't really get anything about like romantically.
I'm gonna come out of this closet on my own.
Yeah. But also, I don't really read Yuri and things of that nature, so like, I probably missed a whole bunch of cues because I wasn't looking for the romance. But I do know a lot of fans of the show were like, what do they call it? Muleta or Sulamine or whatever. Whatever the pairing.
Sularine, Muleta.
Sularine, yeah, horrible, whatever they call it.
Horrible.
They've been waiting for this. And so I was like, okay, so maybe I was watching a different show on this front compared to everyone else. If they had kissed, I mean, I would have been like, okay.
Well,
there has been no physical.
Says
there's been no sexual tension.
We can all be family now in episode 11.
There's been no sexual tension.
The tomato was like an allegory.
The tomato. Oh wait, no, that was I'm thinking of the tomatoes from fucking Heavenly Delusion with the tomato open it up and the juice is flowing. Now, if they had done that, I would have been like, oh yeah,
that'd be fascinating. I would be absolutely fascinated if they listen. That's not a show that is afraid of doing.
No, they would have. I would have been like, oh, so we're gonna kick it up a notch. Like we're going. Yeah, we going. We're doing it. We going. If that had happened in this, I would have been like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get something for the end."
See, like, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, like you didn't give anybody anything that they wanted, so it's sort of like but the
fandom made it into.
But I'm saying like
yeah. Mm-hmm. Technically, they did go there, though. They did. Well, not technically. They did. They went there, which I thought it was a really cute way how they introduced the marriage.
Oh.
I thought that was funny. How she was like, you're a really annoying sister-in-law. And I was like, ooh, sister-in-law. Okay, got it. They got married.
Yes.
But I'm
saying, like, if you were going for... what's the politically correct way? Let's just say if you're going for shock factor only, if that is your only intent, there's plenty of his like good Yuri shit that's out there that is it's mainstream. It's not like it's a hidden genre. It's out there.
There's a lot. So
if you're like, oh, okay, we're serving the people who want this and see it as like a major step forward for what you're allowed to do with this IP. Well, you didn't give them anything. You gave like the whole
they gave lukewarm. They gave lukewarm because it was their first time doing it. So I felt like, to be honest, especially with this, they're comparing it to like all the other relationships and the straight relationships in Gundam. This was a very just like, we're doing it and people might be mad, so we're not gonna go all the way. we're gonna give you allegories and like, you know, we're gonna give you visuals, but we're not gonna give you all of it. That's what it gave me. It was them like dipping their toe in the water, being like, "Are y'all okay with this? Can we get away with this?"
I can't decide if I'm mad or not, because there's a part of me that always says,
"See, I'm so used to that." I'm used to that because they do it with BL shit all the time. Yeah. I mean, they're very like blatant with it, like now, but like they used to do that, like all that shit. They used to hint at that stuff all the time, and actually they did it recently in Pretty Cure, where it was like 2 or 3 seasons ago in Pretty Cure, which is a child show primarily, where there was a very clearly like these niggas like each other, like they like each other, but they never acted on anything. They never acted each other out.
I'm not looking for like Bara Gundam. Like that's not the.
Yeah, and that's the thing though.
I'm not looking for that, but I'm just saying there's a part of me that we've talked about this about other shows, even like shows not necessarily with this content, but like Back Arrow, right? Yeah, it's absurd. It's over the top. So you might as well just give the people who are there for something really fucking giant and dumb the giantest, most dumbest thing that you can for the spectacle, because the plot and the story and everything else are not. I don't think
that would have worked out. I don't think
and I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I can't decide because here's the issue, right? They were underage, so no matter what you want to say,
somebody was gonna be mad regardless. Yeah,
but
also that's not a good excuse, anyways, because
right. So I want to give him credit because normally that doesn't fucking matter in Japan. You fucking psychopaths. But like, okay, fine. You want to do the
right people?
Do the light Yuri stuff with your 15-year-old protagonists? Okay. But then you're at the end of the series. They're all adults.
Yeah.
Right? You've aged them up. You're doing the epilogue. You've said they're married. Give them the fucking shot. Do it as a pull away. Just like, they're standing by the water.
Hands. The hands were the biggest thing we were going to get, and they highlight that. They even highlighted it in the end, the final drawing after the episode.
Yeah.
It was just them sitting there, holding hands, smiling and laughing, and it was just like, they just weren't as a company and like as an IP, they just clearly were not comfortable taking that chance.
I hear you. So like I don't have a strong opinion about it one way or the other. That's all.
I know there are a lot of people who do. A lot of people are like, why didn't we see the fucking wedding?
Because to me that would have been a way, I think, to get out of some of the other big structural problems. Just like, we fucked up the ending. Here's the bitches kissing. Look at them. They're doing it. All right, bye bye. Like to just try to cover it up. But
I could see that, but maybe they think they don't have anything to cover up.
That's true.
So they probably were just like, no, this is what the fuck we wanted. So, cheers. You enjoyed it. We liked it. Yay. At the end of the day, I got what I wanted. The music was great. The action was great. They played
Duel in the episode 11 fight scene. Favorite track off that soundtrack for me.
Yeah. The music was great. Animation was great. Mechas was great. I would say the next thing that would have put it over the top for me, which actually kind of annoyed me, was when she was controlling the other Gundams. I was like, all those stupid battles that y'all had beforehand where you fucked up the other Gundams, this moment up. Because she should have had like 5 fucking like custom Gundams, and they all should have fucking combined.
That would be awesome.
Yes!
I was waiting for like the Psycho Gundam equivalent for like Quiet Zero to turn into a giant robot. We do this every time. Every time there's like a fucking Char clone or something, they have like the Sazabi with like the wire.
It literally had a cockpit in the middle of it. So I was like, why? If it wasn't going to be Quiet Zero, or at least part of Quiet Zero could have been like equipped. Quiet Zero could have turned into a fucking mega gun and shot back at the fucking thing.
There's so many things that could have been done with
that. So I was like, okay, I would say it was, and it was still cool. But I was like, it could have been like finale, like crazy shit. To the point where they were like, okay, the story kind of, did what it's going to do. But we're going to give you some just wild shit. It's like, you know what? They didn't do anything. They didn't do the wild Yuri. They didn't do the wild Mecha. They didn't do anything. They were just like, we are confident in what we have given you. So you're just going to take it. I still enjoyed it. Yeah. I would still recommend it to people, especially like entry level Gundam.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is the new entry level Gundam. I would recommend this. but it's not. I really was looking forward to like the grit. I really just wanted more grit. I wanted more politics outside of the Bennett group that came too late. And I wanted more of the supporting cast. I wanted more supporting cast storylines outside of Guel and Shadiq and Miorine. I wanted more. Like, I wanted more ChuChu. A lot of time was wasted on Martin.
Yes.
A lot of time was wasted on Martin.
In a plot line that I feel like only is interesting to... Okay.
Nika was wasted.
Okay, I'll say it. I'm just going to say it. Clip it. I don't give a fuck. That Martin plot line was something that could only be written for like cucked Japanese men. That's the only group of people that would find that even remotely satisfying.
Well, listen, I hated it. And I mean, I made my voice known. I was like, why is this character getting so much screen time?
Yeah.
This is so dumb.
It didn't even... The worst part is that, like, it didn't even fucking matter.
It didn't because she was still gonna get caught.
Yes.
She was still gonna get caught, whether he ratted her or not. But the only thing is that you just made yourself look like a bitch.
That's
as opposed to, like, talking to her about it.
Right, and then in the end, it was like his realization was like, I should have talked to my friend to find out what was bothering them. It's like, yeah, okay, that's true, but also almost got everybody fucking killed. But nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I didn't care about that. Anything. I felt like the Nika storyline was dropped because what it seemed like to me was that they were setting her up to be like the mechanic, like the person, like she and Homeboy with the Haro together. Yeah. Like I had like aspirations for them niggas. I was like them two making like different equips for Ariel and all this kind of shit. Like there were so many things that were possible that just. I mean, they followed through with what they said they were gonna. What she was gonna do.
Everything got.
They resolved her storyline, but it could have been so much more.
Yeah, my final thoughts exactly the same. It could have been a lot more. I am sad that for me this was a great show, truly great until the middle half of this core, and then it just became a good show. It was just good.
Yes,
it wasn't. Like I have this thing, and it
could have been the new gold standard.
It could have been, and again, a little like mental habits of mine. I need to know what I'm turning up for every week, and if any kind of piece of entertainment gives me that, they tell me immediately. They show me, here's what you're gonna get, and then I buy into it, and I keep getting it at a regular interval. So I'm like, okay, great. Why do I watch Gundam Witch from Mercury? It's for this character. It's for ChuChu. It's for a really cool mechanical design. It's for like an interesting light romance plot. It's for the fights, the the Gundam tropes sprinkled out all over the thing. The space politics, all of that stuff. That's why I tune in. For some reason, I don't know, maybe I'll rewatch it at some point. They just stopped caring about the things that make a Gundam show because I felt like they were trying to figure out, how do we wrap this thing up? We've set up all this good stuff, and they just decided, okay, all ideological conflict. We're going to get rid of all ideological conflicts. We're going to get rid of all of them. We don't care anymore. We're going to, like, the Shadiq, Guel stuff, we're going to wrap that up.
Everybody's going to be friends in the end.
Everyone's going to be friends. Prospera, never have to reckon with anything that she did wrong. No, there is no clash of anything.
The world did her wrong, and she did other people wrong, and didn't pay for it.
Her conflict with her daughters basically boiled down to, like, everybody can be family, and then they didn't care. No. They didn't care. And I think that's what ultimately, I'll just remember it as a good Gundam show overall, but I will be forever disappointed with the missed opportunities that were literally right there without
that they built up themselves.
You did this. You did a good job, but you dropped the fucking ball. And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And they didn't give the Yuri fans what they really wanted. So it's like, I'm not even in that group. But I'm like, damn.
I'm not either.
If I'm not going to get what I want, can you give them what they want? Like, Jesus.
I mean, a lot of them have seemed pretty happy though. They just want their wedding.
No, they got dojins to keep them happy. They don't give a fuck about what's in the actual show.
Oh, I filtered that out. So yeah,
that's what they got.
I I don't even want to see it, to be honest. I don't want a glimpse. I don't want a cover. I don't want nothing. They can keep that.
So
but good for them. Good for them. Content. Yeah. Yay.
So we burnt this one out. But Hell's Paradise, episode 12 and 13. We're getting the fuck out of here for the middle of this arc is kind of we're at that halfway point, so there's gonna be more later. They announced season 2.
They announced season 2. Yeah.
So we get on that, but we could talk a little bit, right, about some of the shit.
I love this. Dropped. This shit was fucking fire. Oh my god! Talk about this. Actually, this was like the most shonen it has been. Yep. Like that. That was like, oh, this is some shonen shit. From Sagiri, like, being underestimated, and then the Tao, like, coming out of nowhere, and he's like, I actually gotta, like, watch out for you. Or they being like, oh, I gotta watch out for you. From, Yuzuriha. Yep. Basically revealing
mucus ninjutsu.
Oh my god. But then also it was so fucking cool where it was like she could make it into threads. Yeah. And like I was like, oh my god, like this is cool. Homeboy being useful. He wasn't like super Senta. Being like physically useful, but not like, you know, but he could do something physically, but he definitely was not a fighter. Like for sure. I really enjoyed it. Of course, like Gabimaru manifesting his shit, popping off. I was not expecting that end twist with him though. I was fucking, and you know what? I actually love the show for this. It's the way that Yuzuriha like told Sagiri the shit. She's like, well, actually, like in my village, they just be doing illusions. Yeah. And she was like, and based off the information that we have on this island. This don't make
no goddamn sense, girl.
Yeah.
This don't make no goddamn sense.
The elixir doesn't exist. So what I know is that they be doing illusions in my village and we all be practicing basically the same shit. So yeah, he's just doing that because it is a form of mental manipulation. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, where are we going with this? And so she was like, you said he has a wife? But girl, that don't make... And then Sagiri's putting it together. And she's like, usually they don't give them bitches wives. I know who that bitch is.
I never heard of her.
Yeah, like, what? If somebody with a wife... No, they don't give them wives. So girls are usually used for... And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. You're telling me that the whole purpose of this shit is like... It's
mindfuck. Or it could be. You don't know.
Exactly, we don't know. But even just like planting that seed at the very end like that, I was like, you telling me the fucking village chief is like... And now we don't have the reveal. Not the reveal, but now it's waiting on like what's gonna happen if this is true. When he finds out his whole goal and mindset for wanting to live was based around that. If it goes that route. But then we have the new problem of, well, it's not a new problem, but it's the Tau power system being implemented or introduced. And then I love how they have been so clear about this is not an unlimited power source. Like you are using...
Yeah, you burning up your life.
You are burning your shit up. And it also makes so much sense why them niggas is like absorbing the shit from people and drinking it because they are doing the same thing. Because when you look back at when he fought the other one, when he went back to the assembly shit, they were shriveled up. Oh, that's fuck. And they drank it and it regenerated, and then he became young again. So like all the pieces are there. Now the whole picture isn't there. But like I'm like, oh my God, yes, because this is that and this and that. Which means they can do the same thing. They can do the same thing. But they don't know that yet. No. So I'm like, ooh. And then you have little homegirl who specializes in like giving her energy, but it seems as though she's been doing that forever, and that she's not overdoing
it. Guy saying that like, you know, I kind of know what this is because, you know, when I was back in the village, like we were able to circulate Tao, and then also Yuri Hatake, like, well, we had something similar. They just called it Ki. So the really neat thing, and it happens in episode 12, I think 12 and 13 are the last two. So you have that like exposition by Senta as he's sort of putting the pieces together of like, okay, something's really fucking weird here. Because on this island, we've got all these amalgamations of different religions and iconography and everything else. And it's like, this was not like one thing. Clearly, this was like put together by somebody with like, who knew enough about other religions, but none of it fucking fits together. It's like, it's
and the fact that the Tensei was like, this shit doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he was dropping knowledge. He was like, this island is an experiment. I don't know what you think is happening here, but like, you know, it ain't some like Holy Land.
All this shit that you're talking about. So then that just literally just like rip it, just like taking rugs from under niggas' feet, just like constantly, just like, oh, nah, it's actually, he told you niggas all this shit. A lot of it was useful, but then his world just got rocked. So now he's like, well, shit, I don't even know what I don't even know what the fuck to tell y'all, because my whole life is like, you know, whatever, like we becoming trees and shit like that. But like, I mean, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. He literally said it. Like, there's a line where he's like, bro, I don't know why you asked me anything. I didn't even fucking know what was going on here, man. Like, I'm fucked. I don't know.
And then you have the whole thing with May, which was so, oh man, the reveal of that shit. I was like, oh, so Gabimaru,
for context, in episode 11, OD'd when he was like, nah, I got this Tao shit. I know what the fuck is going on. Killed those dudes and then like suffered it basically like an aftershock of like going too hard.
Yes.
And he passed out. And we see him wake up in episode 13.
And now this.
Right, and something is weird. You kind of tell, like, when he wakes up on the fire, he immediately jumps away from everybody. He's acting kind of antsy. The dude calls him a cat. He's like, what are you, some kind of fucking cat? And he's like, and then the whole time you're like, okay, he just woke up from this traumatic thing. He's a little confused. Then you get his internal monologue, and it's like, bitch, I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. I don't know where I am. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Before he got caught.
Yep, and he's like, but I do know one thing. I'm Gabimaru the fucking Hollow. It's like, oh.
I'm that nigga.
And he can't remember his wife anymore. He knows that she exists, but he can't focus on her. And he's like, you know,
what is this?
He's like, if any of them catch on that like, you know, something has changed, I'm gonna kill everybody. And you had that shot of everyone like dismembered in the cave. And then May looks up at him, and it's like, she doesn't say shit. She just sees him, and you just see her going like, because then you get the panning shot of like his aura, and it's like it's missing like through half of his fucking head.
Yes.
And it's like, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Hot.
Let's talk a little bit about the Mudan fight, because that contained a lot of that stretch over 2 episodes. It started in episode 12, ended halfway about through episode 13. A lot of stuff goes down here. You already mentioned before Yuzuriha and Sagari teaming up, or they actually sent it to put him down. It's their version of figuring out about the Tanden and like the vulnerable points. Mudan explains quite a bit about what is going on, so there is a lot of exposition that happens. Senta also winds up putting in a couple of ways putting the pieces together. He's also critical to the final blow.
Yeah.
By the end of episode 12, we've seen Yuzuriha's abilities, which are pretty sick. I don't remember a lot of like what it was from the manga, but like rewatching it in anime form, I was like, oh yeah, she's fucking cool. I forgot that like she could do a lot of the stuff that she's doing here. The idea of using her sweat glands as a medium for her ninjutsu, with some medical stuff. It's like, I'm sitting here thinking like, man, I used to think medical ninjas were fucking ass because of Naruto, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Like they could be fucking cool. And she was pretty badass. Like her first hit that she gets on Mudan, where she like teleports out with the tree and then hits him with the kunai. If you think about it from like what you know of like ninja anime, which is one show, you're like, oh, they're gonna stick in him, he's gonna regenerate. That shit went through the back of his head and came out his fucking eye. And then they cut him in half. Like that is what the fuck they did.
She was like, "Oh, we're good. He's dead."
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, right. But they don't know. They don't know nothing about all that. So that was really cool. But the real like investment in a little bit of Sakuga aside from her like Yuzuriha dissecting Mudon with the acid ropes was Shion showing up in episode 13
and
full
revenger
mode.
Woo!
Like we're this is it. Fuck this nigga. That line where he's like
slight like get these shits off. But I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'll hurt myself.
Get the shit off me, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, "Yo,
I will kill you before I bleed to death."
Exactly.
I guarantee you.
This ain't about skill. This ain't about like technique. This is about pure hatred. I'm a kill this motherfucker. And you know what? To his credit, he fucking killed that motherfucker. Like that's what he put his foot down.
I love that fight. I loved it. But I also loved, but when I first watched like Sagiri and the Yuzuriha when they were doing like the initial fight or whatever, I was thinking, I was like, yo, the team up is kind of like flawless. Like they're getting, and then they said it in the show. They were like, yo, we like working together really well. Like, yo, this is lit. And I'm like, oh, okay, so y'all know, like, this is kind of lit. Like it was flowing really well. And then he showed up and I was like, oh my God, like they just boom, bam. The fact that like Yuzuriha was like, I'm not gonna fight no more, but I'll put my saliva on y'all, so that way the flower won't
can't fuck you
up. And I'm just like, okay, there's just so much. And then so we even got confirmation on it's not just Tau as in general. Right. There are different types of Tau,
right?
And
there's a nature to it, and there has to be a compatibility if you want to work together. And it turns out Nurugai and Sagari. Very good. Nurugai and Shion. Very good. Nurugai and Yuzuriha. Nope, not working. So yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
And I would say that's really foreshadowing, because again, the Tau system is a good one. As we move forward, we'll get more in season 2. But like, it's one of those power systems that, on its face, it's good enough to sustain any kind of a show, like a basic shonen. Like what you know right now, if you do nothing else and they explain nothing else, it would be like, oh, okay, that's like some shonen shit. It's kind of based on Eastern key stuff. But if it didn't get any deeper, you're like, all right, we got enough breadcrumbs to like have something interesting. But as you noticed in episode 12 and 13, they keep layering on new information about, for example, it seems like certain combinations of people are going to work better together than others. They've already told us that. So what can you do with that? Well, there's other ways you could layer other things into that system to create scenarios that are fun, shonen acceptable, but also, we also know there's opposite characteristics. So matching up the right enemy with the right, their opposites turns out to be an important strategy even in episode 13. Right? Like, we figured that out because Mudon is like, oh shit, that's not just a girl, it's a Shion dude fucking me up.
Yeah.
Like, interesting. They got two that are my opposite. Fuck, I'm fucked. So that part I think is really cool, just for like breadcrumbing the audience into new and more, complex information. And we're not done. They introduce more and more and more, and I think that's a thing to look forward to. Also, we lost our man Senta. Went out like a champ. Got flower blasted in the face. I knew he died here, but I was like, I thought he died standing up. I forgot that he lived long enough to like give the information to be like, nah, bro, that's a fucking plant. Like, it's like, go for the uvula, but he's about to cut him in the clitoris,
the double abdomen or whatever. Like,
nah, bro, you got. And then when he cut it open, all the little fucking heads looked out at him.
Yeah, it's disturbing, but it's cool. It's cool, and it is off-putting, and the fact that the death juices made a fucking field of roses. That was a cool death scene to cover everything cool.
in flowers.
Yeah, it looked cool, but I was like, not the juices coming out, and like, and all that stuff happened. But also with the what's the girl's name? It made me think about like how she's able to give her power to people, but not really like receive like a feedback thing. Yeah. And then like with May, how they were talking about. Because they were like, we cultivate our powers by fucking. And like, you know, you giving the power to and from, like back and forth and back and forth. So I'm like, but she's able to just give her power and be okay.
Yeah,
and
so Bojujutsu doesn't necessarily mean you have to fuck, but it's also the easiest and most like direct way to do it.
To improve.
Like you can cycle it without, because they showed it a couple of times. That's basically that's what May was doing for and you can collect it and then you can give it to people if you're compatible with them. But Bojujutsu is literally a way to do it in the most like efficient and powerful way, which is why these niggas been hanging around fucking each other for 1,000 years, because like that's what's up. I mean, look, I can't get mad at that. If you
when they said it, I was like, oh, okay, and then they panned to May, and I was like, no.
Yeah, everybody got on the same page immediately. No. They're like, fuck these niggas. Nah, not today. Yeah. I don't care if she's 1,000 years old. That's a fucking child.
That's a child. What's in front of me is a child.
They're like, we don't even need to talk about this. They were about to fight each other. Like, nah, we got other shit to take care of now.
Which is nice.
Yes.
It gives a little bit of a development to each of their characters.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I'm excited for season 2. I still do believe we have not gotten that fight yet.
Not yet. I think the closest was the Gabimaru, like, fucking order.
Yeah. That was the closest, but I'm not saying that I'm, like, expecting it and, like, they need it. Because the show is just, like, now I just want more. I need to know more. I need to know what the fuck is going on, and I know the Tencent are not the final bosses. Like, it's just they can't be. They just can't be.
We find out at the end of episode 13 that we're getting some new visitors to the island.
Yeah.
So they talk about more Asaimon, but I'm just gonna say there's a reason why we've been discussing all these different ninja clans. It's not just for fun. So I would say everybody prepare yourselves. They shuffle up the cast in a good way. We haven't even listen, man. There are things we haven't even done yet. Where's the typical shonen training arc? Where's that? Hasn't happened yet, right?
Oh, yeah.
They gotta figure out their powers. Oh. There's a lot of shonen things that do occur in this series that are a ton of fun, and they don't overstay their welcome, which is why I always like reading the manga, because it's like it just moves. Yep. Okay. You're not gonna dwell on some shit for 20 chapters. Like there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they get to it. So I'm excited for what they're gonna adapt.
And you said this could do 4 seasons?
There's 150 roughly chapters of the manga. So if you divide by 1.5 or 2, that kind of gives you a rough estimate of how many TV episodes you would have.
Yeah.
So that gives you, I don't know, just 70, something like that, 75.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at episode 12 or 13. So if they do continue, you do have a ways to go, but I still think in terms of 24 episode seasons. I know that's not real anymore. So realistically, we're talking about 5 or 6 years. To do the whole thing.
I don't give a fuck. Take your time.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a success. And remember, Demon Slayer was getting shit on till the second season. It was getting shit on. They called it
Mid Slayer.
Yeah, Mid Slayer Cry-Jiro, because that's all he would do is cry about some dead demon that nobody gave a fuck about. And then
I really don't understand how people even thought that shit, because I could tell from the first episode, I was like, nah, there's no way Ufotable
they got me in episode 1. I was like, bro, I gotta read this manga now. This is too good.
I didn't read it, but I could just tell from episode 1, I was like, there's no way in hell that Ufotable is animating this shit. And it's not going to be something going on.
Yeah, they pulled their nuts
out. They don't do shit. They don't do shit where they're not going to show off. They don't do shit.
Pulled their whole nuts out and were like...
Every single fate that they animate, even if it doesn't make any sense, you are guaranteed to get some of the fucking best Sakuga of your life out that
100%. 100%.
Out of that. 100%. So I'm kind of just why is Ufotable doing this? Okay, well, I'm gonna stick around, and it wasn't anything crazy, but Ufotable plus that music, plus a very straightforward, goal-based plot. I was like, I don't really have a problem checking in. And then after a while, I was like, oh yeah, no, I like these. I like this. I like this.
I think I will just say this, and I'm enjoying catching up on Demon Slayer, because they finally did my girl
Oh, big titty.
They did my girl right.
Okay, I haven't watched any of the new season. I need to watch.
But one of the things that I've noticed is that as this season has gone on, Hell's Paradise has climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed up, like, you know, most watched or, you know, by rating. And I think at this point it's actually neck and neck with Demon Slayer as far as in a lot of like watch and fan polls. Yeah, so. People are catching on. I don't think it's like at the level of being a phenomenon.
I think it's like it needed to get through that first few things.
Yeah.
And then people needed to recommend it and be like, no, you need to go back. Go back and check it out.
And also that there's depth there because it still has a reputation, I think, as being another shonen. And
oh, okay.
You know, I mean, like if you don't know what it is, you might see some like beautiful artwork, but like besides that, I think it took a bit for folks to, especially the way this season goes. But if you get to the end of the season, it's very clear there's a lot of depth, and that means that there's a reason to come back.
But I can see going into it without anyone recommending it to you. You could be like, I don't know what's going on.
So is all it's gonna be? They're on the island and they kill some criminals, and like maybe there's like
they're all gonna fight each other on the island.
Yeah, it's a battle royale. And it's like no, because it transitions by episode 7 into again a much more traditional shonen structure of like a big cast of primary characters that are not necessarily at odds with each other. They are facing something bigger than them, and that the show has no problem killing people. They've been killing them off left and right, so nobody's safe.
So many niggas just fucking.
And we not done. So it's like, you know, it moves, and if you get into it, like I see the structure, I see what's happening here. You can get excited.
I've only heard like adulation from people who've read the manga.
Oh, I love
everyone who has read the manga been like, I love this shit. I cannot wait. And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yes, it should be good. So yeah, that's where we're at. I don't really have much else to discuss. We have a new season that's starting now, so so we can talk a little bit about what we'll probably be watching.
Majority of that shit I'm not watching. I'm telling y'all right now. Yeah. I will be watching Jujutsu Kaisen on time every week, every Thursday. I will be there. Actually, I will be off Twitter to not get spoiled, even though I've gotten spoiled on so much. Bruh. I have muted so many words. I have muted so many people. And it's eventually you just cannot escape the niggas just posting full manga panels and being like, look at this.
Wish I could help you.
I mean, I just gotta accept it. This is what it is.
It's not. You won't.
It doesn't ruin the journey.
You will not be safe at all until this manga fucking ends, because the shit that is happening is too much. It's too much. Like people.
I know. What was it? A few weeks ago? I don't know how many weeks ago, but I know the big thing happened and niggas lost their mind.
I didn't even know that there were sub fan groups within JJK fandom that are aligned with one particular character or another particular character winning in this potential showdown that is occurring. They are like, are they trolling each other every chapter because something new is happening every chapter? It's too much. It's too much, y'all. Chill. Just let this.
Well, I'm glad they're having fun. I'm glad they're having fun. it is gonna get toxic because stands.
It's already toxic.
Are they worse than the Sonic fandom?
No. See, the thing about the Sonic fandom is that they actually hate themselves. And so at the end of the day, like all of the toxicity, it looks like it's directed outwards, but it's actually just directed inward.
They're projecting. They're just projecting.
It's not even like they're trying to project anymore. It's like, you might as well be talking about yourself. Like, I don't know what's wrong with y'all niggas. Like, how do you have a fandom that gets two of the best like games in years? It's the actual return to form that they always wanted. They love the games and then bully the directors of those games off the internet.
What?
These niggas are sick. That's what I'm saying. They're just sick.
Wait. I thought they liked Sonic Frontier.
They like Frontier. They like
they bullied the directors off of the internet.
Yes, because all kinds. It's not important. We don't need to.
We're gonna do a Sonic episode one day. I need to know what the fuck is going on.
There's one account that I don't remember why. They followed it for something else. Because I'm like into like retro games and shit, and only to realize that this account is the nexus of like Sonic toxic
fandoms,
Sonic fandom.
They all
I didn't
come
know.
and congregate.
Yeah, on the post here, so I be seeing shit that I never want to see again in my life. I'll tell you that right now. I never, ever want to see again.
I think I caught a glimpse of something with Knuckles, and I was like, "What are you niggas doing over there?
We don't need to do any of this.
What are you?
Oh my god! Oh, you reminded me of the worst image I've seen.
Okay. Okay.
So
okay.
all I can say is that it involves Knuckles. It involves human Rastafarian hair and a giant veiny penis. And that is all.
That is what I saw.
Okay.
That is what I saw. That is what I saw. And I was like, I shouldn't be. I don't know how I ended up over here, but I'm leaving.
No.
I was like, I'm leaving this area immediately.
Get me out of this planet. I need to go. I can't be here.
No, nothing against the fairies. I know that's somebody's tea, and they are drinking it, gulping it. But yeah, it was pretty jarring for me.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So, as far as things that I like, Jujutsu Kaisen,
yep,
for sure. Mushoku Tensei, for fucking sure.
I caught up for this. That's why I caught up.
Oh my god! If you haven't watched the OVA, go watch it. Episode 0 came out. Go watch that shit.
Yep. We ready. Tell the streets we back up. All right, we back up.
It's so good, and I cannot wait because I know it's going to like even more questionable shit is gonna happen. I just know it. I just know.
Based on what I've heard, yes.
Oh, okay. Well then,
yes.
Yeah. So this, I just know there's gonna be a shit ton of discussion around this show. And I will be up to date like every Sunday because it drops every Sunday at 11 for me.
Yep.
So like I will be ready to go by 12, like ready to bang it out. They're re-airing whatchamacallit, Demon Lord. It's cool thingamabob. I don't know why they're doing it a second time, but they're doing it for another second time. And then the second part of that season is going to air, I think, in winter 2024. Or some shit like that. Oh wait, no, maybe this fall. I'm watching Horror Me a Pieces or Horror Me a Piece. Honestly, it's weird, y'all. It's really good. It's still just as good as the original show, but it's kind of awkward because it's hopping around at different parts in the story. So the skits are still funny, the characters are still funny, but there's like no continuity. So you can do with that.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, like there's really nothing you can do about that. So what else is there? I'm not caught up on Bleach. I'm gonna just binge it one day. I'll get caught up. Zom. I am interested in Zom. The zombie thing.
Yeah.
Zom 100.
Yep.
That'll be like a Sunday show. Kanojo, whatever, Rent a Girlfriend. Yeah, you niggas have fun with that.
The mess is back. It's back.
Wait, I didn't know Bungo Stray Dog was coming back.
I didn't know that either.
Oh. See, this show does like no but you know what?
That's what I'm talking about, though.
It's still super popular, though. They really love this shit.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just skipping the rest of season 2. I'm going right to season 3. I'll watch the last 2 episodes of it because I couldn't get past the 3rd episode. I couldn't do of season 2. Season 1, I was like, oh, okay, I made it. Like there was some cool shit towards the end with that the mafia nigga that the test that they did inside that alternate universe and with that girl. I was like, all right, we do some cool stuff, and then they go back in time like I don't care. So I'm gonna go to the end. I'll just watch the last 2 episodes. I'll get the gist of like who was what was the reason homie left, and then I'll just go right to season 3 because I can't keep doing this. I can't do it.
Well, at least you tried.
I did. I don't hate it. I do not hate it. I will be watching Genshin.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's this season.
I will be watching Genshin because
2 cores back to back.
Everything I have seen about it is fucking fantastic. I'm gonna give Fate a Strange Fake a chance.
Well, it's only one. It's just a TV special.
Yeah, but I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it because I think it's already fully released.
Yeah.
I think it's the TV special, and then I think they just announced they're going to have a serialized anime, right before the special aired. So, yeah, I actually need to watch that. I think it's an hour special or something.
Yep.
I'll watch that.
It'll be weird as fuck, but I'm with it. Let's go.
I'm going to watch the 7 Spell Blades. I'll check that out. Just to see.
That seemed interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if
there's nothing else. Yeah, for me, there's really nothing else. There's like
I'll be watching Refrigerator Isekai.
Yeah, of course.
Oh wait, not refrigerator, vending machine
or whatever it is.
Vending machine.
The girl who carries a big ass thing on her back doing. Shit.
I'm gonna be tuned the fuck in.
God
I will be there. And listen, y'all. What did I tell y'all about Atelier Ryza? What did I tell you niggas about Atelier Ryza? I didn't even need
the anime. That's what that is. You're right. I watched that trailer. You were right.
It's not the trailer. The fucking opening.
Or the opening. The shot of her from behind trying to pull up those little shorts. I was like, come on.
Within the first 2 seconds. Pure thigh. Thigh booty. Thigh and booty.
How we got a whole series that's held up by a pair of thighs? This is insane.
And it's gonna survive. It's gonna survive off the thigh. You know how many Figma Figma figurines that they're gonna sell off of this show alone?
Oh no.
It's going to be insane. But this is the thing. I told people, I was like, that story is not strong enough
I promise you, I have tried to play these Atelier games. I've tried.
I've tried 3 of them before Ryza, and I could never finish any of them. Ryza is so popular because it's much more accessible than the other ones. Like, they hit a formula that actually works for newcomers, and that's why it's successful, and that's why I partially stuck around.
I totally get the structure of the game. It's just like there's a point where I'm in the loop of, you gotta go to the new area, get the new ingredients,
craft the new roadblock thing, and then you gotta go, And
I'm like, and at some point, I think I probably put like 6 or 7 hours into it, and I was like, I see what this is.
Atelier Ryza 1 is really fucking slow in the beginning, and so slow. Now the second one and the third one, they do a really good job of breaking up that monotony, because whenever you get to a new area, they'll give you a new character. Like the third game, it throws new characters at you, but they're all fun to like work into your team and shit like that. Yeah. So it's actually fun going out, fighting things, kind of get shit, because you're trying to like create new teams and combos and shit like that. So it's like, okay, they figured it out like for sure by the third game. Second game was way more engaging in the battle system. First game was just, I see what the Atelier series is, and I didn't like these things, and this is way easier in this game. And also thighs. Yeah. So,
I'm a system guy when it comes to RPGs, and I'm a skills guy. So if you don't have a skill system and it's just a lot of game systems,
and the skills in Atelier Ryza are based off of collecting or defeating this many.
So there's a point for me where it's like it's chores.
It's a lot of
chores.
It's a shit ton of chores.
And they're not, and those chores for me are not particularly exciting. And the older I get, the more I realize I'm just a nigga, man. If you're gonna give me all this, like, all these bad bitches out here and they ain't doing nothing, like, they here for
There's
nothing.
a reason why Senran Kagura is so fucking popular.
Like, it's not just the fact
they
that they
straight
exist.
To it.
Yeah, like, I don't need no more, like, dead-eyed, triple D's staring at me doing nothing on screen. I gotta go pick up carrots and shit. Like, nah, bro. I want either have the bitches backing it up or give me a different game. give me a more serious game. Give me something with like that's like really fun to play minute to minute. It's fun. I'm not saying that they don't have their own fun. They do. That's why I stuck around for. I think I played just Ryza. I stuck around for it. I was like, it's cool. I see what's up here. But at the end of the day, like. It was giving me a lot of budget vibes that I didn't like, and it was giving me a lot of like dead-eyed anime girl stuff, which I'm too old. I need some sauce to go with the flash, and it's not that kind of game, right? It's not that kind of game, and I accept that. I'm not putting it on it.
But this show will be held up by her thighs.
Oh my god.
The amount in the fact that like so much of the opening is watching her run from the back and just seeing her thighs and booty moving. Yeah. It's kind of just like, you niggas are just really not trying.
No,
like you are not trying, and it's gonna work. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna work. It's not gonna be the most popular anime, but they're gonna sell. They're gonna sell those Blu-rays.
I will live long enough, I promise you, to see the bad bitch anime game that's produced by a nigga, okay? A real nigga. A nigga who knows what other niggas want. Not some like middle-aged Japanese man with you know what that means. Anyone, you know what that fucking means. You know what it means.
Yes,
like they only have two settings, which is like completely chaste pervert or sex criminal. There's nothing in between.
Extremes.
Yeah, you'll get like games or anime where it's like, oh, the main character's power is him groping women in public, and it's like, okay, that's a crime. So we don't want you'll have all the bad bitches, but it's like, I'm not playing sexual assault simulator. I don't want that. I have no interest in this. Right? And then on the other hand, it'll be like, but
in this universe, it's okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. No. But listen, I got an anti manga suggestion one day that blows my fucking mind. But, so you get that on one hand. That's one extreme. But the other extreme is like the quasi harem that is led by the most cucked out nigga you will ever see in your life. Like a fucking loser that makes you feel bad that you're either reading, watching, or playing his story because he's
it's unbelievable all the way through.
Not only is it unbelievable, like I can't deal with this. I'm just too old to watch pussy getting thrown around and nobody's catching it. Nobody's catching this pussy. It's just falling out the sky. I'm too old for this. It's just just don't do it at all then. Just go away. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go play Final Fantasy VII with its well-developed characters and, you know, all that shit.
Tifa's tits.
Right, and if you want to lust after Tifa on your own time, you can, but she does not exist for the purpose of a fan service. That's not why she's here.
I saw some crazy fan art.
Have you seen the mods for Final Fantasy VII on PC? No. Nigga, these niggas need to fucking stop. Okay, they just stop. Get some help. Stop.
But listen. I will say, I was scrolling Twitter the other day, and I don't know how I ended up there because I was like looking at like Final Fantasy 16 threads or whatever. Yeah. And you know how Twitter will now do like the recommended tweets underneath the thread,
which I don't like, but yeah, go
ahead. I hate it too. Like but there was some Cloud Tifa fan art where I was like, ooh. And I was like, wait a second. I'm gonna look for like 2 more seconds because damn, that's some really good art. But damn, okay.
Don't go look up Street Fighter 6 mods because you know what they did. You know what they've already done.
My God, not them
Jury
little
girls.
girls.
It got nothing on no more.
Oh well, whatever. That's fine. Well,
but like when I'm looking at somebody who added Bush, to, I'm like, nigga, you've gone too far. All right, I get it. The nude,
but you know what? There. You know what? I will not put it past these people because what be going on in The Sims is nothing better.
That's true.
Listen, but I love my Sims creators. I love watching niggas on TikTok with their Sim fucking stories and like the mods for The Sims.
I've been trying to hook my wife up with the Ratchet one so she can get her baby hairs and all that other shit.
It's so good. It's so entertaining. The fact that there's a full like community of Sim people. Like just built around that fucking game.
A lot of black creators too.
It's a lot of black women. Yes.
Very impressed by that. It's one of the only places you're gonna go where like the big drivers in that community are black women.
Black women
building content for other black people.
It is so entertaining. Oh my God, it's so entertaining. But them mods, they got them mods too.
No, I know what's in there.
They got them.
And it ain't just for the women neither. That's what
I'm saying. No, it's for the gays too. The gays are on there too. Listen.
But one day I will live long enough to see the anime for real niggas, okay?
I'll tell y'all this. There are people who are making their livelihood on modded sim porn.
Yes, no, 100%.
They are making their livelihood the off of that stuff. Custom content, and I mean when I tell you they are like modding it, like it. There's the base game, and it's what they're doing. And it's like this is a completely you've made this into something that I didn't even.
When I saw that you could download whole hoods like with like working like 7-Elevens and goddamn like liquor stores and all that shit, I was like, bro,
there's stuff out there where like actual people are voice acting, and things of that nature. True. It's like it's a full community. So that and Street Fighter, and so I didn't know that Final Fantasy VII had mods like that. Oh my! But I'm not. Why I should never underestimate horny niggas ever. Ever,
the point I was trying to make was...
What was the point we were talking about?
Well, no, all I was really trying to say about that was, like, that's an example of a IP. It's got something for everybody, but the women are not... They're just not there to be blow-up dolls, okay? No. It's a real motherfucking game with some pedigree and some fucking common sense, okay? Some of these other ones, like, I'll turn on, Steam and see like some NC Soft thing that's up, and I'm like, and they made it for $5, and then some like airheaded bitch with like triple
colorful
F
hair.
titties, yeah, just like in like, you know, Unreal Engine 3, and it's like I don't. It's like, bro, we're not this hard up anymore. Like, can I get some?
But
like,
if you want to, they're getting
if you want to, shut the fuck! I don't want to hear about Divine Gate.
They're buying it though. They are. No. Why is it still showing up on the lists?
Yes, because it's cheap and lots of niggas buy it. But I'm saying, I am committing myself. You know, like these old niggas, like, I'm gonna hang around till I see my grandkids. Nah, nigga, I'm hanging around on this earth until they start making some real games for real niggas. Okay, none of this like cucked out harem bullshit. If you got bad bitches, they throw them at you. You should be able to catch them up. All right, I'm not saying you gotta go lewd. I'm just being like, why do I have to play a loser? Why is every MC a fucking dummy?
Because a lot of them are. Okay.
Middle-aged Japanese.
A lot of them don't know how to talk to women.
They've never met a woman that
they don't see women as actual humans.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just a whole other.
It's just mind-boggling to me.
There.
You could this will turn into another rant about cheat skills, so I will leave it there.
You have my Pokemon best wishes, because I just don't know what...
We're designing these bad bitches out here. There's some bad ones. They are out here, and there's nothing behind it. There's no thought. There's no, like, aspirational quality. Like, I get... Like, I'm one of these people who actually... I am a proponent of building content for an audience specifically. I do not like this apologia about, like, if you want, you know, beautiful rippling men with their abs out and like little dong holders, and that's what you are into, there should be content for you. There should be high quality content for you, and content that doesn't disrespect you by casting you into a world you don't want to be in. You should be able to cast into that world the way you are, a bad motherfucker. What happened in the 80s and 90s? Anime protagonists were bad motherfuckers. That's what they were.
Yeah, they were actually stunting on people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, them niggas was actually like, yeah.
When you got like, when, you know, again, we talked a little bit how there are some anachronistic stuff like Bastard coming back. You can sort of see that there are tropes that don't quite work as well in the modern era, mainly because we've lived through 30 years of anime between then and now. So obviously, of course, we would change. But at the same time, I don't want to be any of these niggas. I don't want to be not a near one of them. Even I love Sid from Eminence and Shadow, cool dude, but this dude's a psychopath. So like his lack of interest in all these bad bitches is because he is literally insane. That is the reason.
He's insane. He saved their lives.
Yes,
and like that is
yeah. He's just an actual literal psychopath. But like all these other motherfuckers, like I remember a couple seasons ago, I was watching all these isekais that all seemed like they were like 1/3 of a good show. Yeah, and they always had the same situation where it's like, I was a Japanese office worker who got worked to death, and then I got isekai into another world, and look at all these bad bitches everywhere.
That love me.
That love me. And
I can't keep up.
And I'm too afraid. I ain't gonna look at them. I'm not gonna react like a goddamn man. I am actually just a weak, awful human being that nobody would ever want to be, but I have unlimited power. I was like, that's not me. I am not that person. I don't give a fuck about it. Give me a nigga that I can identify with. I cannot identify with any of these people. Not one of them. And by the way, Final Fantasy VII, Cloud is also a semi-oblivious dude, but guess what? He falls in love with people organically. But you know what I mean? Like the people who are there to help him are not just props. Like, if we're gonna go down a route of like a sexless main character surrounded by baddies, at least then develop real relationships with the other humans. If we're not getting it, and they cannot do it.
But you know what? He came along in the 90s.
True.
Before the harem tropes and all this shit took off, so.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know who I blame for this. I kind of just want to watch Fruits Basket again. I watched the original, you know, the first adaptation. A lot of relationships getting built. If you like those beautiful boys,
that's what you're into. That's that show is all about.
You can ogle them. You can draw pictures. You can have all your fan fiction, but you cannot walk away from that series and be like, "Oh, this bitch was oblivious and was a loser."
No.
Nor can you be like they were all props. Every one of them got character development. The relationship got character development. It's a reverse harem, but it's like okay.
And in the end, it evolves way beyond that. So 100%. It's kind of just like, okay.
Can we get this level of care for these horny niggas out here?
No, because it wasn't written by a woman.
I know, but these niggas are getting crumbs. They're just getting crumbs, and they're lapping that shit up like it's whatever. High School DxD, why does that have 11 billion seasons? At least this nigga groping all these bitches. At least he's getting something out of it, but like...
Because the niggas are horny. And they are... If it has that many seasons, them niggas are never not gonna.
They're never coming out of the bro. They never coming out of that room because the door is stuck shut. That's why they are not coming out. The door is stuck.
Oh, I've never heard that one before. Shit.
Okay, we can do better. So anyway, moving on.
Anyways, yes, Ryza is the trap that you would expect it to be.
Yes.
The rest of this shit, I'm just... if something pops off, I'll check it out. There's kind of just really nothing. This season's not really sticking it. But also, that's okay, because we've had several back-to-back seasons of just like... there's just been too much. I still want to go back and watch Licorice Recoil.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, shit
that was
like
actually
that.
On my list.
Yeah, like, I want to go watch Licorice Recoil. I want to go watch Summertime Rendering. Yeah. Like, I got shit I want to go watch.
Get to that. That shit is good.
Yeah.
That shit is real good.
Like, there's so I'm cool with this season being less, triple A.
It ain't popping
beast. Off. Yeah. It's not popping off. And if something does pop off, I'll get around to it. But
I'm not making the same mistake. I'm same with you. I went down the road with cheat skill. Never again. If something gets hot, I'm switching. I'm kept getting over there.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides that, I guess little teensy bit of news. I guess coming out of Anime Expo, there've been some premieres. I think there was a premiere for Eminence in Shadow season 2.
Oh, there
that
was?
happened at Anime Expo. Yes, there was something happened out there. So that's just good to know, but we ain't gonna see that for a little bit, so that's fine. Some news about Jujutsu Kaisen, which we'll all witness very, very soon, in that they're adding extra scenes to the Star Plasma Vessel arc that involved Toji Fushiguro that were not in the manga. Take for that what you will.
Yeah, a lot of anime only niggas don't even know who that is. So
right. So I was questioning the structure of the season, but now it's been cleared up a little bit because we know we're getting the Shibuya stuff in the second half of the season, or not really half, but like the back 2/3 of the season. We're getting that, which means that the Star Plasma Vessel stuff, which is only I think 3 or 4 chapters in the manga, what they call like Gojo Gaiden. It's like his sort of flashback. I was wondering how many episodes they were going to get that into. It seems like they're probably doing it in 3 or 4. I would guess closer to 4. And then the remaining 4 episodes before we get to the August Shibuya arc premiere are going to deal with another mini arc that is in the present time that I think they can also kind of get into that structure.
Okay.
But it's more the aftermath of the exam, whatever the little contest between the two Jujutsu schools. But it's actually one of my favorite and kind of saddest things that happens before Shibuya arc, because it involves a character that I really wish that we got to spend a lot more time with. But it's great. It's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. What else? I guess we have the Spy Family movie.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to be originals written by the author.
What is going on with that Street Fighter collab?
I have no fucking. I think it's just like a couple pieces of art and maybe some promo stuff. But it would be cool if we got a your outfit for Street Fighter 6. I think that would make a lot of sense.
Ooh. Well, I saw some people wishing she was going to be a character.
It's not, they don't.
But they don't do that.
Typically, don't do guest characters like that.
Okay, like who does that? Tekken does that.
Tekken does that a lot.
Yeah, Tekken.
But they'll do it from game series, not anime.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's a precedent for a character coming from an anime, as far as I know. There is sort of that for Soul Calibur in the sense that they would go out and get artists from popular manga to design a new character for the game.
Okay.
But cool. not necessarily for Tekken. So yeah, besides that, that's about it. That's all I really got.
Oh, well, what is this Gundam Requiem for Vengeance?
Yeah, so that's going to be it's going to be an original net animation. It's totally 3D. It's not like cell shaded.
Oh,
it's
a
like
net animation.
It's 6 episodes. They're going to simulcast in English, and it's going to cover a UC story that is in the last couple months of the 1 Year War. It's a combat team that is featured during you never heard of them before, but obviously because it's new. But they are featured during one of the major events from the original Gundam series. I don't know if the timeline carries over past the end of the 1 Year War, but it's only 6 episodes. I saw there's like an animation preview that's out for it to give you a flavor. It looks very, very high quality. So it's not you know what it reminds me of, like the Igloo suit, the IGLOO, the Gundam Igloo, which were another set of shorts. They were almost all 3D except for I think one of them, and they were more like testing for the animation that they wanted to do for other projects. This one gives me those vibes, but if you have a chance to watch the trailer, I say do it. Really looks good, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I heard both the English and the Japanese VAs because they have lines for both an English and Japanese trailer. They sound pretty damn good, so. Fingers crossed that it's pretty gritty, but it seems like it's gonna be, and more love for Zeon side stories, I guess. I personally just want a remake or a continuation or something with the 8th Mobile Suit Team, or even that setting, because if people don't know, back in I want to say 2017 for the Blu-ray release, they actually animated like a 12-minute extra mini episode set before the end of 8th MS that involves all the characters, and it's fucking cool. It's like Shiro basically with a little bit of backup taking out a Zeon position across a bridge. There's some awesome like 2D. It's hand animated, high quality Blu-ray, and it's great. I was like praying that this would be like the remaster or something was coming. Nah, it was just an extra for the Blu-ray. But check that out if you're interested in UC Gundam shit.
Panty and Stocking is coming back for sure. And the Gurren Lagann is coming to theaters in the fall, and I will be in that bitches to rewatch it.
I want to take my wife because I don't think she's ever watched it, but she's definitely heard me play the soundtrack before. So
yeah, and I heard I never watched the movies, but I heard that second movie goes fucking.
Oh, it's crazy! I saw clips from it before I saw it. And I didn't realize those clips were from that movie because it's obvious after you know what it is, but there's some really cool stuff. Yeah, because
they added like a lot of, well, not a lot of like plot, but like they expounded upon things.
Yeah, there's moments for a lot of characters that are like alternate like endings or alternate like I don't know, is activities the right word? Things that they certainly wouldn't have been able to do in the context of the story of the show and the first movie, which is just a sort of retelling of some parts of it. Like it's like a lot of fan service, but I'm not just saying like sexy fan service, but like, get a guest animator in to do like a 5-minute short with these characters and see what that would look like. It's really cool. So big fan.
Okay. That's all I got.
Yeah, same here. I wish I had like a really cool recommendation this week, but we're just sort of finishing up a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I think that I'm happy that a series that I was enjoying that got dropped by its fan translators has been picked up again, which is On My Way to Kill God. It's pretty interesting. The art style takes a little getting used to, but if you are able to, I think it's a lot of fun. Then there's also another series that I was reading that, oh man, it's something like What You See With Your Murky Eyes. It's a manga. It's not been out very long. I think it publishes monthly. It's an isekai, but it's not really. It's like if you took like what you would consider like a regular isekai setup of like dude has a heart attack and gets reborn into another land, except it's not like a fun, magical, rompy kind of whatever. It's a gritty, shitty, war-torn, like brutal war environment, and he is born from a baby to a bunch of peasants, and he just fucking sucks. Like, it's not like he has like at least initially, it's not like, oh, I've got the strongest powers in the world and now I'm gonna do a Mushoku Tensei clone. It's like, nah, bro, I spent the first 14 years of my life literally starving to death because my family didn't make enough money as peasants to literally feed everybody, and then he joins the army as a way to pay, he basically gives away all of his benefits to his family. And then it's a pretty like gross war story where there is some magic, there is some like, there are some powers, but really it's more about the main character slowly realizing that his morals, which he got from growing up in a modern Japanese setting, are so, he's like lived a whole life in this other world. So like they have become so compromised where he's just like murdering children and like, being involved in a full on like all out war at all times, and just compromising himself over and over. There's a scene where they run into a party of adventurers who should be like, your main characters from another story, and they just happen to be supporting the other side of the conflict. And it's like a long chapter of him basically like chaotically hunting down and brutally murdering the entire party, but questioning himself, like, why don't I feel anything when I'm doing this? And it was great. And he also like almost dies. There's a lot of like horrific near-death experiences, and then like some random humor that I don't even know if was intentional. Like there's a scene where he is basically sent to set fire to a tower of a castle because he's the only one who can get in, and he winds up like nearly dying. He kills everybody there, like survives by the skin of his teeth. He gets rescued, and then there's a panel where the burned corpse of one of the first guys he kills is shriveled up, but it looks like he's giving the thumbs up, like the corpse is like giving like a thumbs up thing, and he's like looking at it like, this is fucking absurd. Like it's sort of a joke, but it's not a joke for you the reader because it's horrifying, and it's like more like, man, isn't it fucking ridiculous that this is like, I'm almost dead, this is a dead corpse, he looks like he's enjoying himself even though he's fucking burnt to a crisp. So I was like, I'm sold on this. And then the last chapter, I think, that came out, you find out that there are other worlders, i.e. people who have also been called to this world as heroes, and he's going to have to murder them. Oh. Like it's not, he's, just starting to get used to living in this world, and then he's reminded that like, shit, no, I'm from Earth. I like Earth shit. I want to go back to Japan. I want all this other stuff. And then the other heroes show up and he's like, these are my people. And then he realizes, no, wait, I have to kill every one of them. Every one of them wants to go home. I gotta fucking murder these people. So it's sort of like him facing off against other isekai tropes, but in the context of like, but in the context
that
of
sounds
like,
cool.
In the context of like a berserk level grim world.
Ooh.
Like people getting their heads chopped in half, like arms re-impaled into bodies, people who are like, you think you're gonna get this great showdown between two powerful characters, and then a nigga just takes an arrow to the leg and the main character stabs him in the throat and he's dead. And you're like, oh fuck, you could just die. Like anything could happen to you. Like a tree branch could like get blown up by a magic spell and go through the gap in your eye armor and blow your brain out of the back of your head. Like it's it's crazy.
Okay.
But it's just doesn't have a lot of chapters. Like it's a monthly release, so the chapters are long.
Oh, okay.
But there's only like 14 or 15 chapters. So I typically don't make a recommendation if I haven't like read more than like 20 or so, just to see where it's going. But this shit is kind of good. I think it's called What You See From Your Murky Eye. That's the translation.
Okay. Whoa.
It was intense. I actually just saw it like 2 days ago. I was like, let me just take a look at this. And it was like, oh, fuck me. I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, I have a recommendation. It's Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. I remember earlier, a month or two ago, I was like, oh my God, Tears of the Kingdom is so amazing. It's blah, 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 blah. I will say, Tears of the Kingdom, like the finale, really great. Blown out of the fucking water. By Final Fantasy 16. And I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, but the story, the story is definitely Game of Thrones influence, stuff like that. I'm talking about the gameplay and specifically the icon fights.
Oh yeah.
Those fights are like imprinted in my mind now. Like, you know how like core memories, like them bitches are core memories now.
Oh,
I have not yelled at my fucking television like that in years playing a game. Like controller in hand, like nigga, like yo, like da. The fact, I just recommend, like, if you can to play through the game, don't watch any of the fights on YouTube.
Yep, I haven't seen shit. I'm not gonna watch anything. Do
not watch those fights on YouTube. You have to play it yourself. Cause it's this. You think when you do the first like 1 or 2, you're like, oh, okay, this is the scale that it's going to be. The game consistently tops itself with those fights. What I'm telling you, oh my god, I just can't say anything. It is insane. They're fucking insane. They're fucking insane, and they are the highlight of the game to me. But also, that's what they wanted. And then the other thing is that this game is highlighting so much of what makes Final Fantasy 14 good. Without
You're right, because it's the same director, right?
It's Yoshi P. Without having to invest the time in 14 to get to the good parts.
I like that.
This is giving you one of the it's like not a similar plot line, but like similar like medieval-esque kind of thing from the expansion that like put 14 on the map. Like,
I'm with it. I've been with it from day one. I know that there's like the controversy around like the racial representation. It's a game. Play the fucking game.
No. After playing the game and getting to the story, I'm like, there's a reason why I didn't put niggas in this, and I get it now. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
like,
you.
Just play the game. Play the game. It's okay.
But they didn't say it out loud. But I'm like, you know what? There's a reason why you didn't put niggas in here. Thank you. Yeah. But the best part of this game is the fucking music. Masayoshi Soken is a living legend amongst us. The fucking music is orgasmic. Like, and y'all know how much I love Xenoblade 3 music, or just like Xenoblade music like as a whole. You know how I love me some Hiroyuki Sawano. Masayoshi Soken put his fucking soul into every fucking song in this shit. It is a complete experience. When you are fighting them niggas, the music, the motifs, everyone's the theme songs evolving with the fight and the nigga that you're fighting. It's like, oh my god, like it's almost like a sensory overload of like what just happened. And then I keep seeing it. I keep seeing a lot of streamers who are like, yeah, I heard and blah blah blah, and then you watch them play the fight, and at the end of all of these fights, they're just like, I just wasn't expecting it to be this insane. Like, it was like, it's insane. It's truly insane. And it is one of my favorite video gaming, like, experiences ever. Like, ever. I definitely looked at them sideways where I was like, why y'all making this shit an action RPG? Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, I don't know, the Devil May Cry. Now, I don't go, fuck, man, give me spin-offs, expand this universe, give me more. I haven't beat the game yet, but give me more of this. Give me more of the icons, the eidolons being like an actual important part, because that was one of the things that I enjoyed about Final Fantasy IX, how the summons were actually like an important part of the story. They weren't just like, oh, this is a summon, da-da-da. And 10. This game is like, these niggas are integral to the world power balance and all this shit. Like, it is so good. So good. So good.
Well, I gotta get my PS5 on Friday, and I'll be out.
I went and got mine. Yeah. I got mine like a few days before, and I went in.
Yep,
I went in, and I just highly recommend, just try, if you can, to get the PlayStation 5. Just do your best to like not get spoiled because they're posting the spoilers and YouTube thumbnails and shit like that. Yeah. But the gameplay is the integral part, especially the Eidolon fights, and also Clive is an insanely attractive main character.
Great.
That nigga's waist is so grabbable, it's insane. And the women are skyrocketing him to fame. Not the gays. The women are furiously drawing him.
Let's go.
On a daily basis. They are all over him. So that's another feat. And also, the voice acting is so good. So good. It is so fucking... I do not have a single complaint about any English voice actor in this entire
What are we
game.
talking about? Let's get these bad motherfuckers out here.
Y'all know Laura from Diablo 4? Get ready, because he's in here. Nice. He's in here. He's in...
Nice.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It is crazy because we've had so many good games this year, but it's just fucking phenomenal. It's what you would expect a Final Fantasy game to be. And people are complaining, oh, it's too easy and da 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 da. Well, you know, it's their first foray into this style, but everything else, story, music, voice acting, aesthetic, it's a package. And it's a complete package, not a DLC package. Because Yoshi P literally said, we're not making DLC until we see how much you like the original game.
I'm with it. Let's go. Let's do
That's what you're supposed to do.
Let's do this.
Give me a complete game, my nigga.
It's
and
not
then talk
complicated.
To me about DLC. It's really not
complicated.
And this is one of the two examples of it actually being the better thing. Tears of the Kingdom and this shit, people are buying it up like hotcakes because it's a finished game. I don't have to worry about, damn, I got to pay $10 every month, $15 every 2 months for this, da 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 da. You got a skin, you got that. No, complete game, full story, full experience, all of it. I do not care about paying $70 for this shit. And also, it is performing very well for it being an exclusive. It is performing extremely well for being the first like PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Fantastic.
To, like, doing. So, yeah, that's my recommendation. I've talked about it a lot. But if you want to talk about it some more, I will fucking absolutely love to talk about those fucking icon fights because those are... yes. Okay, anyways. That's enough of that.
Cool. Well, I ain't got nothing else, so...
Okay. Well, then that is all for this week, so make sure you follow us on Blue Sky, Anime Savants.
Yeah, please, God, get us off this app. Let's get off this fucking app. I'm trying to get on Spill, but I don't want to. The only Android I have is my work phone. I don't want to put
Wait, Spill's only on Android?
Right? Oh no, it's only on iPhone for now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have a Spill invite or whatever, so we'll see about whatever happens to that. If we can
the niggas
get one
are
of
out
those.
there. That's
yeah, the nigga.
And listen,
I know the niggas are mad because they're like LGBTQ. What?
Right.
The agenda. The agenda.
But I just want to have a ear in there to just see it all go to shit because I know it's not going to work. This shit ain't working. You can't get that many niggas who play. I don't care.
I've seen some tweets already about it.
It's
getting ready.
There's too many of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. It can't be, the migration can't be like all at once. It's just, that's just not how the platforms pop up like that. It has to be just like a, one day this platform is just a thing. Like, just niggas are on it. Like, it just is. Not everybody's moving to it all at once. So, but you can find us on the Bird app, anime_savants. And then everywhere else, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Anime Savants.
Yep, I'm on Twitter still, but I want to get off at Neural Handshake. I don't know, man. I don't know what the future holds.
That nigga didn't pay his bill.
Bro,
nigga didn't pay his bill.
Yo, how you got people looking broke on Twitter by using Twitter? Like you out of tweets. What?
I legit thought July 1st was the final day of Twitter. I was like, it finally happened. Like, it's actually done.
Everybody is feeling that. Like,
damn.
I don't know how many more rounds of this we gonna go through.
End of an era.
Bro, this app is cooked. I don't care what anybody says. This shit is fucking cooked.
It's just a matter of time.
It really is.
It's just a matter of time. But it does suck because with it not being there, like people, the information, the connections that you get from this app is crazy. So when it disappears, there's gonna be an insane void, and then who knows how long it's gonna take or what platform is gonna arise where we can get that same kind of like connectivity and access to like on-demand information.
Yeah, 100%. The hunger is there. This app is a fucking zombie. Everybody knows it. This shit been dead. It's been dead. It's just not. It just hasn't been put in the ground. It's just every little thing. It's like, like I'm reminded of that. The Rick and Morty. Was it intergalactic cable, interdimensional cable, where it was a fake movie for like a Weekend at Bernie's type movie where the idea was some rich old lady died and then all of her cats were like in her clothes moving her body around and nobody was realizing it was a rotting corpse.
Like my god.
A nigga is like falling in love with her and it's like she's just a dead corpse being moved by like 50 cats inside of a coat. Like that's what Twitter feels like. It's like one day we're gonna turn around, like the eyeball is gonna fall on the ground and niggas are gonna be like, oh, it's fine, no big deal. The leg is gonna disconnect as we start smelling everywhere, and then eventually it'll just all fall apart. Like one thing is gonna happen, one final push, and this shit will collapse, and then we'll all be looking at each other like, yo, nigga, you got a blue sky, you got this, you got something, you got a sixer, you got a this, like what
follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram.
Right,
blah, 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 yeah.
Yo,
well, Instagram rolled out their like Twitter bait. They showed their
all
Twitter
that shit
thing.
is just gonna turn to a cesspool. All these apps, when Twitter dies, all the scum that it's been like holding on to together, all the trolls, all these other people, they are gonna instantly, it's like rats like fleeing when the lights come out. They're gonna go in all directions. It's gonna be a nightmare. You won't be able to do nothing. Like, god damn. So anyway, I'm still on this app for now, but I'm preparing myself to get the fuck out of here. It's just crazy.
So, but yo, we will be out here, so you'll find us somewhere. Streets. But yeah, that's all for this week. So yeah, bye.
Peace out.